Hey. That's right. You see it. I'm still out here at an undisclosed, location. I'm still on assignment. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing okay. The weather is crazy. A lot of up and down action going on. Happy Saturday to everybody. Today, I could say probably might be the first day that my allergies are kicking up. There's stuff flying around and you can sense it in the air. I went outside to get some breakfast earlier and there was stuff hitting me in the face. I'm like, oh boy, it's that time. But it's still, got to take the good with the bad. It's nice. It's nice out there. So it would be nice if it was sunny, but it's partly cloudy all day. But it is what it is. Anyway, currently the temperature is 71 degrees in the New York area. Even though I'm not quite there, that's what's going on. It's going up to a high of 82. And then, yeah, man, next couple days, tomorrow 75, Monday 64, Tuesday 78. Wednesday 71 and Thursday 73. So nice temperatures. And I think people should start really enjoying it. Get outside. And most of these days are sunny too. Get outside and get your walks and, get a nice coffee or whatever and sit on the bench and I don't know, just enjoy life, man. Life, it's fleeting and so much stuff going on in the world and everything in your day-to-day lives and the grind and the hustle. Gotta enjoy it, man. We take things for granted. Like people who have backyards and have, grills and patios and all that stuff. You gotta take advantage of it, man. Enjoy it while you have it and when you can use it. All right. So that is that. Anyway, guys, I am super excited. Today is the first day of the playoff series between the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. This is going to be game 1 at 6 p.m. tonight. So it should be pretty exciting, pretty interesting. I expect it to be a fight. Really, game 1 is always interesting only because it's the feeling out game, right? It's the understanding what both teams are trying to do, but also trying to figure out, you don't really see the best of both teams usually in game 1. You might, but game 1 is like that. We both had a little bit of a break. let's get back to our normally scheduled programming. But sometimes it takes a little minute. Like game one is like the feeling out game. In game two, they've already got their rhythm back and it goes from there. But we'll see what happens. I guess it's a race to who gets their rhythm first in this game. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. You guys obviously know there's been so much going on. There's a lot of trash talk. I'm surprised, man. I don't know, maybe because there's, and like some of these guys ain't young. Some of these guys are journeymen. They've been on different teams. I don't know. Maybe they're using this to fuel themselves. Maybe this is building their confidence. Maybe they like that. Maybe that when you play physical and you play a strong style of basketball on the Detroit side, talking crap, I guess, doesn't really bother you. Because most times when it comes to big games and playoffs and stuff, you don't want to give the other team bulletin board material. You don't want to get them all hyped up and have something to play for. But I guess in Detroit's case, when they're a very physical, strong type of team, they don't care. Like, because they already feel a certain way about the Knicks. They feel like the Knicks are a little soft. It doesn't matter that, they're talented and have a lot of skill. They just feel like they got enough. And plus what's happened in this regular season and what they've seen happen with other teams, they feel like the Knicks bowed down to the pressure. So that's something that has to be fixed in this playoffs. And I don't doubt that it will, because I just can't say, looking at this team and what I saw them do last year, and most of the guys are still here, I just can't see them not being able to deal with a team like Detroit and whatever physicalness they want to bring. You know what I mean? I can't see it. If I didn't see what happened last year, then I might be like, oh, I don't know. But after seeing what I saw last year from some of these guys and the heart that they showed, I know they got it in them. They just got to go out there and do it. And also, even with Cat, because there's been a lot of talk about Cat, and Malik Beasley has been running his mouth, right? Malik Beasley, yeah, I think that's his name. Anyway, he's been talking a lot. So yeah, and I've seen Cat get physical and get mad, and when Cat gets mad, he does bring out another side to himself. So we'll see what we see from Cat. I just want Cat to continue to keep his head in the game, right? I don't want him to get mad enough that it changes his style of play, because he might get a little bit more physical, and that might play into what Detroit's trying to do. Get him all out of his game, try to make him be more than he needs to be, and then he'll go out there and try to get all intense on defense, and when he gets intense on defense, he starts fouling. We don't need that. So that's the type of stuff I'm worried about. Like, I need Cat to stay level-headed, stay in the game. Don't let these guys get him to start being extra aggressive on defense, because listen, it is what it is. Cat is fantastic on offense. He is very marginal on defense. And when he gets extra aggressive, he starts to pick up fouls. We don't need that. Don't worry about what they're trying to do. If we need to get aggressive with them, other guys are there to get aggressive. Cat can be sneaky aggressive. You know what I mean? Like backside help, weak side help, come from behind and swat the ball, like when they're not even thinking Cat's around. Stuff like that. That's how you get back at these dudes. That's how you shut them up. But if you try to like get in their face and get all like to the ground, like these are guards and faster players, and you run into problems that way. Big men need to stay away from that. We've seen that even with Mitchell Robinson last year in the Philadelphia series. That play where Mitchell Robinson fouled, I don't know if he fouled Maxey. I don't remember who it was, but he fouled somebody. Was it? No, it wasn't. I don't know. No, I can't remember. It was either Philadelphia or Indiana. He fouled a three-point shooter, and the guy got 3 shots. And it was just like at the end of the game, it was the worst foul ever. And because he was overly aggressive. Like bigs can't be that way. You just put yourself in a bad position because you just can't move as fast as these smaller players. So yeah, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. It's not specific to Cat, but Cat is the one that we're talking about right now, because he's the big that they're trying to get under his skin, and you can see it's a game plan. So yeah. We're going to talk about a lot of what's going to happen today, I think, and break it down. We're going to look at matchups. We're also going to talk about maybe, ideas for what Detroit's going to want to try to do and what the Knicks can do to prevent that. Um, and yeah, I mean, we'll go from there. I'm sure as this series goes along, there's going to be different things that pop up that we notice that we'll be able to break down and understand a little bit of what both teams are trying to do, and we'll be able to point out what both teams are doing right or doing wrong, and we'll be looking at Tibbs's adjustments and how he is formulating a plan for the Knicks to succeed, or if he's not doing enough, or if there's something that he's missing out there that we need him to get together before we wind up losing the series. I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying that's the type of stuff we'll be looking at as the series goes along. What else? I think that yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much covers it, guys. I don't want to spend too much time because we don't have a lot of stuff to go on. The Knicks have been off waiting for this game, so it's not like we got other games to talk about. So yeah, let me get into the chat and see what you guys are talking about. Shout out to all of y'all. Also, let me put the link out there. Just make sure that's out there and we're good to go. Also, I'm gonna put the link to the Discord out there, guys. Listen, as tonight's game goes along, I will be I'm gonna be watching the game. I'm also going to be um probably checking in and seeing what's going on with Dexter Henry's watch party, because I know he's going to be watching the game with Brian and kind of talking about the game as it goes. And I'm also going to be in the Discord. So if anybody wants to talk about what's happening in the game, I will be in there listening and probably adding my own 2 cents to what I'm seeing. So definitely stay tuned and check that out if you haven't already. Let me just grab that link for the Discord. Give me a second. Oh, man, and I don't have any allergy medication. I ran out. Tasty. Let's here we go. Okay. Let me just add this to the okay, there you go. And then let me just go pin it so it makes it easier for people to find, just in case you're interested. 1 second. All right, there we go. Okay, we're good to go. All right, so let's see what you guys are talking about. Happy Saturday once again to all of y'all. Hope you are doing well. Shout out to my guy, Crim's dad, a member of the SKF Army. Salute. He says Knicks in 4. Ooh, I like the confidence, brother. I like it. I like it. Shout out to my guy, Walter Blackman in the building. Salute to you. He said, good morning, Ron and my Knicks family. I hope everyone and their families are doing well. Let me get more comfortable, man. I don't got no back support now. Like, oh, I'm all over the place right here. Let me just move myself, kick my sneakers off and stuff. You know what I mean? Relax a little bit. Just get comfortable. This is all about getting comfortable today. That's what the Pistons don't get it. Knicks is just gonna get comfortable today. They ain't ready. I see my people starting to jump into the background. Got them waiting in the waiting room, so I'll bring them up in a little bit. Just wanted to get through a couple of these. Shout out to Nostalgic Nick in the building. What's going on? He said, blessings SKF, game 1 of a historic series. Yeah, listen, honestly, I don't know, but I think this is going to be the best first round playoff series out there. I think. I'm also kind of hoping it's not, because I think the Knicks will make a statement against them, but you never know. We'll see. We'll see. Shout out to everybody tuned in on X and on YouTube, and also shout out to Frederick Rodriguez on Facebook. showing love. Appreciate you. Thank you for the love. Whoa, that went really quick. Sorry, I got to go back up. There we go. Shout out to Lena Franklin in the building. What up, Lena? Said, let's go. Said, hey, family, I'm sorry. I'm going to, yeah, I know. That's right. You did say that. Going to tonight's game because today is WWE WrestleMania day and I'm going to the watch party for it. But I know we're going to win. That's what I like, Lena. The confidence. Let's go and enjoy tonight's WrestleMania. Shout out to my brother Corey Lee in the building. Said peace and salute. What up, Corey? Thank you for being a member of the SKF Army. Shout out to Anna Grill in the building. What up, Anna Grill? Good to see you. Wonder Woman is in the building. Let's go. Said good morning, Ron, SKF family. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's go Knicks. Yes, let's go, Wonder Woman. Shout out to David Smith, the biggest and the best at antagonizing me when it comes to Jalen Brunson and the Cat Wars. Let's go. Salute to you, David Smith. Hope you're doing well. He says salute to Ron in the chat. Ball movement, unselfish play, team-oriented basketball, and at least 30 assists per game has been key to the Knicks' success this year. Everyone must be involved in the offense. Nothing wrong with that. I can agree. That's fair. He also said team chemistry, ball movement, defense, teamwork, the play from OG Anunoby and Bridges and the bench all looked better with Brunson out. Hopefully Brunson changes his approach. I got you. I see what you're saying there. Shout out to Kerry Cox in the building. What up, Kerry? What's going on, my brother? Hope you're doing well. He says salute, Ron. Shout out to CC516 in the building. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to SS Cash in the building. What's going on, brother? So, unfortunately, we may lose the first game, but it will prepare us better to finish these guys off in 6, my opinion. Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, the first game is always the tricky one, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how they come out. You know, the Knicks. Unfortunately, we watched the Knicks all season. Knicks are a slow starting team, and first quarters are not our friend. So, I hope they come out with that fight starting out the gate. So we'll see. Darlene Bryant's in the building. What's going on, Darlene? Let's go. Hope you're doing well. Said good morning, Ron. Let me just get through. Margaret Edwards is in the building. What up, Margaret? Let's go. The ladies are showing up. She said, hope Knicks are prepared physically and mentally. Agreed. I'm with you. Shout out to Jay Chosen One in the building. What up, Jay? Thank you for being a member of the SKF Army. He said, morning blessings to all. Let's go Knicks. I'm with you, bro. Damn. Crim's dad said Ron is not allowed back home until he brings the Knicks championship home with him. I guess I'll never. Oh, no. Damn. Don't put that on me, B. I'm trying to make it back to my family. Shout out to Kareem Grant in the building. Thank you for being a member of the SKF Army. Says salute everyone. Happy Saturday. Ron, you sound much better, bro. I feel much better, bro. Honestly. I just gotta, make sure my wife understands that, don't forget I got allergies. So don't get it twisted. I ain't sick no more. I gotta keep taking tests. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just making sure we that we stay healthy and keep each other in our thoughts and try to do the best by each other. Appreciate you, bro. Sang Freud in the building who said, good morning, Ron. We're going to show that Nick energy. Let's go, Knicks. I'm with you, brother. Hey, L, damn it, is in the building. Pew, pew. Salute to everyone. And Ron, appreciate you, L. Thank you for being a member of the SKF Army. Thank you for being our social media person. Thank you for being our Discord creator. Thank you for showing the love to still Nick fans and everything we got going on and just being who you are. Appreciate you, Al, for real. Pew, 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 pew. I wish I had my button. Pew, pew. I don't got it. But anyway, shout out to you. Shout out to NYC B-Ball 08 game day. Let's go Knicks. That's right. That's right. King Ribby in the building. What up, King Ribby? Ron, the entire SKF show. Appreciate you, my brother. Hope you're doing well, bro. Joey Rip 'em Up Sports is in the building. What up, family? Happy Easter. Happy Easter to all of y'all today as well. I can't say it tomorrow because there ain't no show, but happy Easter to everybody, you and your families. Definitely to the little ones because, the kids love Easter. All right, so what else we got going on here? I'm breezing through. Hey, there's Frederick Rodriguez. Appreciate you, bro. He said 90s vibe. Yes, sir. You know, you got to know the ledge. Appreciate you. Uh, my guy D Rex is in the building. He said, we hype. Yes. Why is, oh, there we go. There it is. Yes, sir. Oh, nice. You said you going to the watch party outdoors? Nice. Yeah, well, and yes, I did go on my walk today. I just didn't film it, but yes, I got to do my walks. Okay. Sorry, guys. A little while longer. I'm just breezing through, showing some love to everybody. Jay Chosen says, Ron, you nailed it. That granted stuff is real. Can't do that. If you woke up, you are blessed. That's a fact. M Gene is in the building. What up, M Gene? He says, yo, what's going on, brother? All right. Okay. JJ is here. What up, JJ? Says, salute, Ron. But this is a different team now. Last year's team dealt with physicality much better than this year's team. It's a finesse team now. We got to play tough if we want to beat this Detroit team. I mean, yeah, I think honestly, sometimes you can't match energy, right? Sometimes you just can't. If you're not that type of team, it's tough to match it. But what the Knicks need to do is come out and play their game and execute. But they have to take care of the basketball. If the Knicks take care of the basketball, I don't care how physical Detroit wants to be. They take care of the basketball and execute their game. Go out there and establish their game plan and get it going. It don't matter how physical the other team is. It's just not easy to execute when someone's bullying you around and you're not getting the calls. That's the other thing too. Sorry. They have to stay in their they have to focus and stay off of the referee's radar. Like, don't worry about if you're not getting calls or not. Just let the game go because the bottom line, that's only going to benefit Detroit. Shout out to Luna Jean in the building. What up, Luna? Knicks Nation, it's game day. Vamos. Shout out to Ron in the chat. Salute to you. Let's go, Luna. All right. Okay, guys. Sorry. I know I got my guys waiting backstage just a little while longer, maybe 2 minutes. So, my 2 cents is in the building. At long last, the real season begins. Salute Ron in the chat. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I'm ready. Okay. Shout out to E. Gibson in the building. Game one is always important. Winner in the first round goes on to get the series over 75% of the time. Very true. Shout out to We Surveyed 100 People. Salute, brother. What's going on? Appreciate you, man. Shout out to my guy Randu 1973 in the building. Says salute, Ron. What's going on, Randu? Right. Wiz BKLA is in the building. You will be in the Discord. Seems like you are stuck in disco era. Salute, Ron. Shut up, Wiz. Good to see you, bro. Prezi the boss in the building. Salute to Ron the Don, SKF Army. Salute to you, Prezi. Good to see you, bro. Glamour Nix is in the like I said, all the ladies came out today. Let's go. I've entered my Knicks playoff character arc, yelling at the screen, pacing like I'm on the bench, and being absolutely insufferable. Let's go Knicks. That's what I'm talking about, Glamour. Let's get it. Miguel P is in the building. What up, Miguel? Good to see you. Says salute to Ron in the chat. Hmm. Oh, and I don't know if I thanked Randu for being a part of the SKF Army, but if I didn't, thank you, bro. Uh, Ew, let's go. Shout out to Crims that pew 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 pew. Damn, I wish I had my button. Pew. Shout out to Crims that thank you for gifting the 5 still Knicks fans memberships, my guy. Appreciate you. Stream Elements, look at you. Stacks, different time, and damn, you keep get gifted these memberships, bro. You eating. Shout out to you. Uh, let me see here. Hey, Tay Tay's in the building. What up, Tay Tay? Salute. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Man, Annie K is in the building. Says, hi, everyone. It's a beautiful Saturday. Let's go. Like I said, all the ladies is out today representing for our Knicks. Wesley Robinson in the building. Salute, Ron. I'm checking in from Strong Island, New York. Let's go, Knicks. I want to see Big Cat dominate. I'm with you, brother. Hey, shout out to my guy Jay Boogie in the building, the closer. Today is game number 1 of the 16 to get in these playoffs. Shout out to the chat. My family, Mr. Ron. Hello to another day of life. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Same to you, my brother. Appreciate you as always. Okay, I did it, guys. I got through. All right, let me bring my guys up here and let's get it going. Switch this. Apologies. Hey, what's happening, brothers?
What's up, y'all?
How y'all doing?
How you doing?
I can't complain. It's Saturday. I'm feeling great. The weather's nice. I mean, the allergy stuff, I'm not a big fan, but it's okay.
And we got playoff basketball.
Yes, playoff basketball. Not only do you
Like-
get a Knicks game, but you get a playoff Knicks game. Nothing better than that.
I got a question for you, gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you can help me get off the ledge. This is the ledge, right? I'm on the ledge. Let me tell you my problem, right? Isn't the Karl Anthony Towns that's on the New York Knicks right now the same Karl Anthony Towns that dominated perennial MVP Jokic in the playoffs? You need that same Karl Anthony Towns.
That's him.
Ain't Bridges the same Bridges that made all defensive team first couple of years in the league? I mean, same guy, right? Weren't we like salivating to get this guy? Wasn't it like before this offseason, a dream for him to be on the Knicks? We were talking, man, wouldn't it be nice to get this guy on the Knicks? Here he is. OG, same thing. Man, but Toronto won't trade with us. Lo and behold, OG's a Knick showing out. Wasn't Jalen Brunson the starting point guard for the Eastern Conference? Wasn't Cat the starting center? So why do I have to deal with people talking like our Knicks are the 6th seed and not the 3rd seed? Why I got to deal with people talking about Cade Cunningham? Hey, salute Cade Cunningham. You had some good games against us. Salute Pistons. You had a good season. But you are not the New York Knicks. You do not stack up to the New York Knicks. Any fan that is accepting a game 1 loss, shame on you. Shame on you. A game 1 loss at Madison Square Garden is not a way to start the playoffs. It's not the message that we want to send starting the playoffs. Gentlemen, we need to stomp these guys and stomp them hard. Game 1 and send the message to the league that we're here to play. There's no excuse for the starting 5 that we have to put on the court for us to lose today to the Detroit Pistons. Salute Detroit. You had a great season. Salute Cade Cunningham, great player. But guess what? Nobody's talking about that Jalen Brunson outscored Cunningham as far as points against. But all we hear is about what Cade did against the Knicks, not what Brunson did to the Pistons. You got to deal with big body playoff Brunson. And he's not alone. Okay, OG is playing the best basketball of his career, I think. And Bridges knows he got something to prove. And I think he will show out. He will show up. So, fellas, I'm hoping we stomp these guys. I'm not accepting anything less but beating these guys down and giving them a message that we come to play. Sorry, man. These media guys, they just been pissing me off all week. Stephen A. Benedict Arnold. I'm a fake ass Knick fan. Smith. 7 games. Ain't that a safe pick? Oh, I'm gonna pick the Knicks in 7 games, but just in case they lose, and that covers me. Man, quit.
I mean, the other thing too is, what do you look? Don't get me wrong. I feel the way I feel. I feel like the Knicks can sweep them, but I feel like the Knicks will win in 5. But I'm very confident with what I see now out there. I get it that people think this is going to be a tough series, and it very well may. Just because I say that the Knicks can win in 5, that don't mean the game's going to be blowout. They can be close games all the way. But to say that you're going to pick the Knicks in a first round series, 7 games, what are you saying about your Knicks? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, it's a reason that the Knicks are the 3rd seed. You telling me that automatically they play the Pistons in the first round, the Pistons going to take them to 7? Like, so, I mean, that shows a lot about how you feel about your Knicks. That's all I'm saying. And the Knicks have so much talent on. Look, the physicality that Detroit can display is going to be tough. Detroit has played a lot of teams tough this year. Will they make it a battle? Yeah. That don't mean they're the better team. If anything, Detroit is what do you call that? Playing above their heads, right?
Yes.
They don't have the level of talent as opposed to the way they're playing above their heads and
overachieving.
Coached up well with good physicality. That don't mean they can really hang with the
They're
Knicks.
the Knicks from last year.
Right.
Yeah, they're overachieving.
Well, look, I just wanted to say I understand that the tone of the community has definitely shifted as we enter into the playoffs. I'm someone who I try to value, honesty, integrity, fairness as much as I can. But that got me. They call me Detroit Dork over on Twitter. So apparently, I'm a turncoat now because I have cautions and reservations. What I think is probable is that the Knicks go in there tonight. They blow the doors off them. They really take it to them, and then from that we get overconfident, and then maybe let the series go. I could definitely see a world where that happens. I have reservations, of course, because as your homie pointed out here, that whoever wins the first game in the series has a huge chance to win, going forward from that point. But for me, it's just I understand that there have been seasons past where you trounce the Hawks in the regular season, and in the playoffs something changes and they kill you out of the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen in terms of that suddenly some magical switch gets changed. But people told me in the beginning of this year, when Bridges wasn't finding a shot in preseason, it's just preseason, who cares? We had all these concerns. They're not guarding the 3 in preseason, just preseason, whatever, or summer league. And I said, look, it's basketball, it's habits. I don't think these things magically change from one day to the next 100%. The habits you have is the habits you have for the most part. I want to see them be better. I want to see them win. There's nothing I want more. It's the only reason I'm bothering myself with this fucking community. Sorry. It's because I think it's possible. 100% I think it's possible with this team. But I feel like that when you get overconfident and you underestimate your opponent and you overlook your own weaknesses, you're setting yourself up to lose. You're setting yourself up for disaster. So as much as I want to be rah, rah, rah with the pom-poms, I can't forget the fact that they did beat us 3-1 in the regular season, and that we have struggled against teams like this the entire season of a young athletic team. And it's also a new dynamic for the Knicks where even if we were our same team now that we have going into the playoffs, we would still be against the Celtics, the Cavs, probably the OKC, the more tough team of those teams going into the playoffs. This is one playoff series where we have to play up to their level of toughness. We have to. And I want that for the Knicks. I think it's a necessary challenge for this Knicks team. It's something the entire fan base is not going to sit here and tell me they haven't wanted to see more toughness out of this team the entire season. Everyone has said it. Every New Yorker has said it. But can they do it? And is it going to be comfortable for them to live up to that challenge? That's a real question.
You basically echo the sentiment of a lot of the Knicks critics, or the people that are picking Detroit to win, people that are picking Detroit to give us a hard time. The playoffs is a different animal completely from the regular season. If you ask a seasoned veteran like Carmelo Anthony, who lived at Madison Square Garden, who've played big games at Madison Square Garden, to tell you it's a different animal.
Ask Jimmy
You're an opposing team, and you come to Madison Square Garden, and you got 19,000 people screaming and hollering. It's not the same. Carmelo Anthony, he should know. He's been there. But you're echoing a lot of the sentiments of these guys. Say, New York, what about this guy? The only guy that really poses a threat on Detroit is Cade Cunningham. You name me one other guy on that team that can take over the series and win. And I'll name you 3 guys on the Knicks that can do that on their own.
All right, but Double A, let me jump in real quick. First of all, I never let these lucky. What a job to have to talk sports and make millions of dollars and have any stupid or good comment come out of your mouth. It doesn't matter. Like I don't put any stock into any of them. I don't watch them, to be honest with you. I haven't watched ESP and 1, 2, 3, the Spanish version, any of it in years, unless a game is on. All right, like
Right.
it just like you. And another thing is, I live by this way. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, but an opinion's also like
Mm-hmm.
your backside. Everybody got one, right? So, like the fact of the matter is, I'm just suggesting, don't let that, like if you're not breaking bread with the brother or you're not spending time talking with them like we're talking with us, that type of stuff should brush off your shoulders. I know it's tough to hear because it sounds ridiculous, but the counterpoint that Rex just said also makes sense because the fact of the matter is we haven't done well against them. And only recently our bench has stepped up. Only recently. So, and no matter who wants to say it, I'll say it. Mikal Bridges has not lived up to his trade. His potential has not been reached. Cat fouls too often, too early. Jalen Brunson has changed his game to become this 10 assist point guard when he should be a 35.6 assist guy. He's a combo guard. OG's playing out of his mind, and I believe will lock down that young man. I have no doubt in my mind that this time around it's going to be OG on Cade, all right? And that's going to change the game. It can't be Brunson on Cade, then Brunson will be destroyed.
That's not happening.
Jay,
Yeah,
and that's what happened. And that's what happened.
It's something you said that I'm really curious because I really value it.
Because I'll forget. I'm getting old. I'm sorry. I've been realizing that lately. I've been going, So I didn't get the Brotox that my brother got up there yet. So, look, I've seen teams decimate teams I love through the season. I know I say this before. The Mets lost to the Cubs 12-0 through the season and swept them in 2015. Swept them in the playoff. Swept the whole playoffs until we got to the World Series. So the fact of the matter is that we're a better team. We have a better starting five. We have veterans. We're not the same team that was chasing around all these, having a rough time with all these faster, bigger guys. I really believe that because of OG stepping up and because of a lot of the additions that we got and that Tibbs started finally using, like the Shamus, the people who could play defense and shoot the ball. And I love this kid, McCullers, right? Like he's going to be special. Like, so another last thing is that this team should win or have a gentleman's sweep, a sweep or a gentleman's sweep. That's in my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own. That's my opinion. But this is basketball, and let's pray. All I pray is they don't get injured. If they don't get injured, they should win this entire thing. I'll save what I want to say. The other thing I want to say for the next thing. Go ahead, man.
Look,
Right,
the only thing I
ahead,
wanted to say
Rex.
is like, people can malign me as negative, but I'll put it to you very simply. Do you want your opponent to reveal to you your weaknesses, or do you want yourself to just know your weaknesses? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into a playoff series And, oh, that guy's actually a way better player than we thought. He just killed us. He just won the game. Well, I don't want that to happen. It's not because I'm terrified of Detroit. It's because that is a situation I don't want to be in, where people, oh, Dennis Schroeder's a bum. He can't play basketball. He's not going to step up. And I don't think he's going to take over the series. It's ridiculous, of course, it sounds like. But I don't want it to be – I don't want it to be a surprise. Oh, with this guy, we said he was a bum, and he killed us from 3 the entire game, and we lost. Like, I don't want that to happen, that we had no idea what was going to happen.
What I'm saying, Dork, is look, a lot of attention and a lot of credit is given Detroit and Cade Cunningham. But people are forgetting to call Anthony Towns, whether he fouls a lot, whatever, he's still an all-star. He still showed out. He still showed out. Let me finish.
Sorry.
He still showed out in the playoffs last year against one of the best players in the NBA. Okay? And what I'm saying is, yeah, we got to watch out for Cade Cunningham, but, we got a handful. We got a handful of players. And like I said, Jalen Brunson outscored. He scored more points against Detroit than Cade scored against us. And Jalen got help. Cade got to count on Beasley getting hot, Hardaway guy, and we know that these journeyman guys, they're good 3-point shooters, but they're still streaky 3-point shooters. And my hope is that we all know when playoff times come, it gets concentrated. You're playing the same guys over and over. You can prepare differently. So I think the Knicks are going to be okay. And I'm not trying to criticize you, Dork. I hope you know that. And I'm not like Jay said. Everybody got their right to their opinion on what they think. But I'm just saying that we need to have more confidence because we got a good team, man.
Look, let me be clear. I agree that for sure. I personally think Jalen Brunson is better than Cade Cunningham, straight up. Height difference be damned. He's just a better player. He is better at basketball regardless of the size difference. Like, that's why I have confidence so much in the team, is because some people are just good because they have physical gifts. Jalen Brunson is good because he's good at basketball. You know what I'm saying? He's just good at basketball, and that's something that's very hard to compete against. If the guy's just better than you at the sport, then what are you going to do? Even if you're taller, what does it make a difference? And
our guys have experience. They have a body of work of experience in the playoffs.
But I was going to say, for me, the biggest X factors is Mitchell Robinson and Cat. They don't have even a true 7-footer on their team, I don't think. And a stretch 5 is non-existent on their team. So I feel like Jalen Duren is going to be a factor offensively for them. But defensively, bro, Jalen Duren cannot stop Cat. Jalen Duren is not a perimeter defender. You know what I'm saying? So we got to hope that it's utilized. I agree. Look, we all have the whole conversation of Cad is not being utilized effectively is a whole other conversation. But for me, I look at our team on size, and we have a size advantage, which, again, usually in last year we didn't. We had a size disadvantage, and you really feel the difference of, first of all, Mitchell Robinson being healthy and Cat existing on the team. So these are things that give me a lot of confidence. I think they're huge X factors. Maybe even we get Huckporty back in this series. Who knows now at this point? I don't know if y'all heard that report, but I have a lot of confidence, but I don't want to go into it saying this guy's a bum, that guy's a bum, they're terrible, they're trash, and then we get surprised. I don't want that to happen. I want to know the possible weaknesses before they come up. That's all I'm saying.
You never take any opponent lightly in life. Nobody. If you do, it's Buster Douglas time. You don't take anybody lightly. But we are a far more superior team with more playoff time. In my belief, one of the best point guards in the entire league, and OG, one of the best two-way players I've ever seen on our team. He's right now the way he's playing, man. They're gonna put him on this young man, and then they're gonna have really nowhere to go. But I'm going in positive. Period. I love my team. If even if when we win this and go into Boston, I'm still gonna go in positive. I'm gonna break it down. I'm not gonna live in La La Land. I'm gonna see what it is. But I think that like that whole thing about speaking positive, speaking what you want into existence, speaking that way type of life. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
And so like I got them in 4 or maybe and tops 5, and that's what I got them in, and I really truly believe that.
I'm with you on that one.
That's the way you got to be, brother. You gotta don't. What we have to do is going into this playoff series, we got to look at this team for the best that it can be and what we want it to be, and the realistic possibility that they'll play the way we expect them to play. Once again, shout out to Tori B, and shout out to Tori B in real life. I see you in the chat. Salute to you, my lady. Let's go. There you go. She said it last week, and it still reigns true. We haven't seen enough proof of it yet. So, but it's there. This Knicks team has not been healthy together and had a chance to play together out there in the court many times, maybe 2 or 3 times, whatever it may be. But they're getting that now. So every year we go into the playoffs, we always talk about the whole thing that, we're down something. Guys are hurt. And it happens every year. And unfortunately, we're caught up. But right now, we're good. We got everybody. And we possibly getting Huck Porty back as well. I thought they would rest him and just take it easy with him. And that's initially what the comments were, that the Knicks were going to shelf him. Now, all of a sudden, they're letting him ramp up his thing, and he's looking to play this series. Whether he will or not, that's a Thibodeau thing. But he's looking to be available. So we'll see what happens.
Can I just say one thing on that? I know he's a rookie, but the fact that he's coming fresh off a surgery means Tibbs is more likely to play him, not less likely. So
probably. I mean, the fact that they're even doing this and allowing him to ramp up means that Tibbs will be willing to use him if he's not getting what he wants from other.
I will say, bro, if there was one rookie for one team in the playoffs you would want to have, I mean, Huck Porty versus the Pistons seems like a no-brainer to me, right?
It makes sense because the other thing is it's like a trial thing, right? Put them out there. The Pistons don't have a lot of height and size. They got toughness. They just don't have a lot of height and size. And that kind of could prepare you for when you have to go up against the bigger team in Boston or whatever. So, yeah, we'll see. But I want to get over to Jay Boogie, but I also wanted to say thank you guys to the chat. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. It shows me love. We need it over here. We still need likes. We ain't too big for our britches. So definitely give us them likes. If you don't know what it looks like a little something like this. So yes, definitely smash that like button and show your love for the show. Appreciate you guys as always. Shout out to the chat once again. To the newcomers that are coming in, hopefully you love the content. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to Dakota Paro in the building. What up, Dakota? Good luck to your Knicks fellas, Pacers fan who enjoys the show. Listen, everybody's welcome here. If you're a Knicks fan, if you're not a Knicks fan, if you come in respectful, we appreciate you. Even if you want to come in and talk your stuff, as long as you do it in love, you welcome. You're welcome. We welcome all comers over here. We appreciate the love and the hate, just as long as it's respectful. Appreciate
You're so much nicer than me.
Shout out to Snipes Entertainment as well. What up, Snipes? Good to see you. And like I said, Tori B in the building said, Ron, let's just play Lovely Day for the rest of the stream. I can't take negativity today. Let's go, Knicks. I hear you, my lady. Appreciate you. And Shownuff's in the building. Who's the master? Okay, my bad. All right, I'm out.
Oh, that was
all right, showing up.
Showing up.
What's going on, Jay Boogie? What's happening, my brother?
We're dating ourselves.
I'm good. Salute. 3 capital S's. Bless, health, happiness to everybody on this day of life. Major flowers and major shout outs to the chat. Let me just idolize and get them their flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because without no fan base, there is no fan base. There is no orange and blue. There is no sellout in the garden. There is no chat. There is no podcasts. The chats and the fan base is always number one. Everything. Forget all the basketball playing. Forget all the entertainment. Forget all the podcasts and the big names and everything. those of you that be in the chats and those of you that who are major fans and, work hard to get your money and go to these games, you are number one. It's not the Knicks. We're all fans of the Knicks, but the fans is the number one thing. So let me just shout y'all out, respectfully, while Ron is appreciating you guys and respectfully appreciating you guys hitting the like button. Hope everybody's in the greatest form of health. Anybody going through anything, we don't pray that you go through it. We pray that you get through it. We all on your side. We wish you the best for you all. This is playoffs. This is the new beginning. This is what we've been, talking about before the season even started 3 and 4 months ago. Only thing we was wishing and praying for was let the squad be healthy. Let the squad be healthy. Can we be healthy going into the playoffs? This is what we are. This is what we are today. A healthy basketball team on April 19th, 2025. A healthy basketball team. And this is something that Brunson has not had going into the playoffs with us. And this is something that all the complete of the team has not had, looking from left to right on both sides and seeing that my brother over here is suited up today. He's not in dress clothes. Everybody is suited and booted. This is the moment. This is the time. It all reflect back to the beginning. See, it's levels to be right here where you're at. And I know we need to get to this level. The level begins at the beginning point. You got the summer league. After the summer league, you got the preseason. After the preseason, then you got the season. After the season, then you got the in-season play-in tournament. After the in-season play-in tournament, then you have the playoff play-in. And now the play-in playoff is over with. Guess what? It's the playoffs that start today. Unfortunately, we're not highlighting the 1 o'clock game like we do on Christmas Day, but we're playing the matinee game at 6 o'clock. We know the whole world will be watching this orange and blue. So right here where we at right now, this is where you want to be at. The first one is 16. No more regular season talk. All that's thrown to the side, all that's over with, all that's done is deaded with. It's the first one to 16. And I love our chances right here. I got my wish, and that's being healthy right to the point where we at right now. I wish for nothing else. Detroit, appreciate you as a basketball fan, lover in the NBA. You've done a lot of great things this season, but this is where it all stops. I don't care nothing about Tommy Hearns. I don't care nothing about the Detroit Lions. I don't care nothing about, who else can? Trick, what he done did to the Locks. I don't care nothing about what's happening in Detroit. Right now, this is a New York Knicks thing. This is a New York City thing. This is the New York podcast thing. This is a New York chat thing. I'm playoff ready. I hope y'all playoff ready. I'm amped up. I need to get to 16. I told y'all early in the season, I already got reservations in June at club quarters. My reservations is already made, and this is what I hope to get there. I don't want to lose my money, but I bet on the Knicks early in the season. I bet for us to beat it, and it starts right here. Detroit, you're in the way. All that what was going on in the regular season, don't care about it. Bigger staff, don't care about you. Tom,
That's
you know
right.
what to do with him. You did it to him when he was in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Just because they got rid of him in Cleveland, you think you're going to come to Detroit and do what you're going to do to us, and you didn't do it in Cleveland to us in the playoffs? No, Tom, handle that. You know what I'm saying? I know the seat is hot for Tom right now. It's majorly hot. This is the playoff mode. This is where Tom has to showcase his well-being for right here for the Knicks. I'm amped up. I hope y'all amped up. I'm ready to go. I can't wait to 6 o'clock. The 1 o'clock game and the 3:30 game on TV Day is really in my way, but as an NBA fan, I'm going to watch it, but I can't wait to the end of the fourth quarter, and it says the New York Knicks has blown out Detroit. The New York is silent. All the critic talk, all the fake fan bases, the ones that want to push us down and everything. Nah, stop that today. Everybody is 0-0. I think we can be the first one to 16. What's 16? A championship. And I'm celebrating, you know what I'm saying, my 58th birthday weekend. My birthday is the 21st, so I'm celebrating it all this weekend, and I need for the Knicks to handle their business. And I'm sharing it here with my brothers here, you know what I'm saying, today, and the beautiful fan base in the chat that's on board. Salute, 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 3 capital S.
Happy birthday and happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yes,
Yes, that's dope. Yeah, man.
Yo, by
happy
the way,
early
can you
birthday
repeat
to
all
you,
that?
brother. I'm gonna hit you
I
on the
didn't
day
hear.
too, but happy early birthday to you, brother.
Okay. Say what? Can I what?
Can you repeat
Jay is
that? I didn't
funny.
hear it. I'm sorry.
That's side. You know what to do. Replay game.
Yeah. My man. 3 capital
That's
S's.
dope.
That's it. No more need to say. That was it. That's it.
Hey,
No, that's
fellas, you
dope. That's
think
dope, man. Listen, man.
one of the
Another a
things I
year
was
of
wondering
growth, man. Why not?
is Precious going to get some light? I mean, he played well against
They're gonna
Detroit.
need him.
I think he played well against Detroit, but if they're thinking that Tom is going to stick to 8,
I don't think so. I know that it definitely plays into the Tom Thibodeau way. I think Tom Thibodeau is playing 9. I think he's playing 9. He may not play 9 all the time. Like the ninth player may not get a bunch of minutes. But I do think he's going 9. I hope he goes 9, but I think he's going 9. We'll see.
I think he's going to go with the hottest hand. He's going to definitely play his 5 a lot of minutes. And then we have the most regular fresh off the bench people. But I hope that he continues to do what he's doing. I saw Tibbs at the end of the year switch it up a lot, play a lot of different lineups, play a lot of different things, and I hope we see that. I really hope we see that. I think anybody rooting against anything on our team, including our coach, is wrong. If Knicks is what we're rooting for, the front of the shirt is what we're rooting for. The New York Knicks. That's what
well
we're rooting
said.
for. That
Well
goes
said,
for the
Jay.
coach. That goes for anybody that you may or may not like, or any trade you didn't go for, or what you don't like. If you didn't think the Bridges, it doesn't matter what I think about that. When they get on that court today, it's let's go. A bunch of words I won't say on a family show. Knicks. That's what I'm going to say.
Agreed.
Period. So.
Agreed. So let me ask you guys this. We here. It's game 1. What's your thoughts? I know I don't. I'm hoping it's not the case. Do you feel like the Knicks are going to surprise us, or is it going to be typical Knicks that we've seen a lot throughout the season? Slow start first quarter, behind the 8 ball. Detroit is going to be. I feel like Detroit most likely will be leading in the first quarter because the Knicks start slow and then they've had some days off. How you guys feel about that? I'll start. Double A, what you think?
I think I'm hoping that we come out for the juggler. Like Boogie says, we got to come out for the juggler, man. Just come out and play like we're better than them, and we are. Man for man, we're better than them. Like I said, everybody's talking about Cade, but man, we got some horses on our team, man. We got players that can show out, especially now that OG is showing out as a third option. You got 3 straight up 30-point options on this team, and Cat, Brunson, and OG. Any one of them can go for 30 any night. All 3 of them can go for 30 if they really have a good game. I'm just saying, man, let's come out hard. Let's come out strong. And that's what I'm hoping, man. We just come out like with confidence. If we don't come out playing defense. Come out, offense, go for it. I mean, play defense. But I'm saying don't play defensively. Don't play not to lose, is what I'm saying, Ron. Let's play to win.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. Shout out to Brooklyn Knicks fan in the building. Says Shamet needs 30 plus minutes. I mean, let me tell you, I think that is a pipe dream. Like that's wishful thinking.
Yeah,
but Shamet needs 15 to 20 minutes at least. We need to you can't don't mess Shamet up. Shamet has been building and finally got his shot down. He's got some rhythm. We need Shamet. You can see the difference. Like the Knicks, as good as they are and as talented as they are, they still need to have that guy off the bench who can come in and knock down threes. All right. So that's just a part of their makeup. They need that. We don't.
Yep.
We saw the difference that Dante made in the past. We saw the difference that a Steve Novak made back in the day. We saw the difference that oh my God, the Frenchman made. Ooh, my memory's
Fournier?
trash. Fournier, thank you. Yeah, like it matters. How many times did we beat Boston with Fournier out there? You know what I mean? Like that extra added person that can knock down a three is backbreaking and it helps you. We know specifically because we watched other teams with these journeyman guys or these young rookie dudes. We're playing good defense on guys, yet we're leaving the journeyman or the young rookie open in the corner. They're killing us with threes. We see how big it is. It matters.
And
So
our Achilles heel on offense, right now, is
Mhm.
heart, right? If he's
Yeah.
not hitting his shot or if he's not taking his shot with confidence, he's our Achilles heel on offense. So a lot of people were saying, maybe it would be a good idea to start somebody like Shamit at guard alongside Brunson, which you can go ahead and put as a lead defender on Cunningham, and then you can double him up either with OG or Bridges. You got both of them now. They can double off of, with Shamit being the main defender, and now you can't leave Shamit open, right? You can't double Towns or Brunson off of Hart because that's what they're doing. That's the game plan, leaving Hart open and living or dying by him making a shot. So
Well,
a
I'll
lot
tell
of
you
people
this,
are
Double A.
saying,
You're not wrong. And I know people are saying it, and it's not a wrong thing to do. Will Tom Thibodeau start off doing that? No. Tom Thibodeau
no,
is
I
going to
don't
let
think
the
so.
Knicks go down and have issues first before he makes a change like that, which I agree with. I would start with what I'm used to, start rolling out with the guys that we've been playing with that have had success, and let's see what happens with Josh first. And if it runs into the problem where Josh becomes the liability, then I wouldn't be surprised if Tibbs flip. And of course, that also means the Knicks would have to lose because if Josh becomes the liability, he's not knocking down his shots, but the Knicks still pull out the victory. Tibbs is going to keep rolling out the same mix. But if they lose game one, then he might say, and he won't go to Shamit, he'll go to Deuce. Yeah, Deuce will always get the nod before Shamit does. But I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Just the whole thing, like I've been waiting, and up until this point, I thought that Tibbs was going to play Mitchell Robinson at the starting center.
Mm.
I don't think he will. Now I think he'll wait. I just don't think he's going to do it yet. I think because honestly, I think the Knicks and I think Tibbs, I think they feel like they are better than Detroit, and they should feel like that because they are. So I
Yeah,
don't think they're going to change up too much early. They're going to go out there with what they've been doing and try to beat Detroit the way they can beat them. I think if he's going to change something, he's going to do it out of desperation because the Knicks might lose games, or he's going to save that stuff for Boston or, if we're ever lucky, getting to a Cleveland. But I think he's going to save his chips. He's going to save his different lineups, like starting a Mitchell Robinson or changing out Josh for when he really has to do it. I think he's just going to go status quo for now. But like I said before, I'm comfortable with that because this Knicks team is better than Detroit. And I think as Knicks fans, we got to get out of this whole scared business with Detroit. This is not the bad boys Pistons, okay? This is a
I
tough
agree.
Detroit team. They ain't nowhere near. They're not even as good as the Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace Pistons.
The
So
Wallace
you gotta
brothers.
relax.
Yeah.
They damn
No.
sure ain't tough as Philly with Embiid,
No,
right?
well, they.
I actually wanted to ask, who do you
Gotcha.
think is a stronger opponent for the Knicks? I know we were not the same team, even health wise last year, but who do you think is a tougher opponent?
Oh, say that again. I'm sorry. I had some outside noise.
Who do you think is a tougher first round opponent between this year's Pistons and last year's 76ers?
Listen, I know people may not believe this, but I'm going to say this year's Pistons. I'm going to say this year's Pistons because the Pistons are pretty much healthy. We went up against last year's Philadelphia 76ers with a hurt Embiid, even though he was still cooking us at times. That's just how good he is. He wasn't the normal Embiid. And you also saw that last year's Philadelphia 76ers their defense was okay. It wasn't that great. They had some talented guys, but they were missing stuff. They didn't have enough to really go anywhere deep in the playoffs. This year they put together a better team, but it's a broke down team. So you know what I mean? Like that's the problem. They just don't have enough healthy pieces. They had some talent, but just not enough healthy pieces. Because let me tell you something. I'm talking too much about it. If the Philadelphia 76ers was healthy 100%, they would be a problem because they got some
Right
talent.
now, right now,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
They got some talent over there. But anyway,
yeah.
whatever. But yes, I definitely think everything I'm saying, I just said, I think this year's Pistons are a tougher matchup for the Knicks than last year's Philadelphia 76ers. But even though I'm saying that, Knicks are still a better team than these Pistons. They're the third seed for a reason. They held that slot all year. Not only that, and I keep going back to it because I think this is something that we don't understand. As Knicks fans and what we've seen the past 2-3 years, we don't even know what to expect. I don't even know what it looks like. We have not seen this team play together in meaningful games healthy. We don't even know what it is. So I can't wait to see what these guys look like out there. I can't wait to see how they can maximize on having everybody healthy and the energy they could put forth. And even, the difference too is Tibbs has prepared. This is where it comes back to work for Tibbs. He's prepared these guys to be ready for the long haul in the playoffs. All that extra time that those guys have been playing is prepared them for right now. When other guys may go out there and play 30 plus minutes because they have to, they might be a little winded and tired, a little bit more than the Knicks. The Knicks guys got used to it. So, that's the whole thing. When I said before that Tibbs kind of ran guys into the ground, when you playing guys 38 minutes out there, and then you're bringing in these young guys off the bench that are healthy and have energy, that's a different story because in the playoffs, all the lineups get cut down. So them little journeyman guys that come off the bench that you saw getting playing time, not a lot of them are going to play as much as they did before. You're going to go with your core. And if you're asking me if I'm taking my guys playing 38 minutes versus their guys, I'm going with the Knicks. I think the Knicks have learned how to play in those heavy minutes, a little better. So, but let me move around. Jay chose one, and I'm gonna get to Jay Boogie, and then I'll go to D-Rex. So, what's your thoughts on the question that I asked in regards to the Knicks getting off to a slow start in the first quarter, and maybe being down to the Pistons just because of the time off? And we know how the Knicks moves. What's your thoughts on it, Jay?
All right, I'm gonna, from what I've been seeing lately, I actually think that we'll be leading at halftime. My biggest concern is the third quarter, not the first quarter or the second quarter. We've been having really tough third quarters, which then leads to having to either fight back or maintain a lead or whatever it might be if we're not, beating the crap out of them. The first quarter in the Garden, I expect us to be up by 10 in the first quarter. I think that problem, that first half problem, and again, it could be hit or miss, but I really think in the lately, it's been way more of starting off strong, beating teams, and then third quarter kind of like, we give up like 15 points difference to them. And then all of a sudden the game is either close or we're behind. I'm way more concerned about that third quarter than I am about the first and second quarter. Personally, I think we're going to start off well. I think going into the half, we should be up by 12. No
Okay.
less.
All right. I like it. Listen, that's the type of stuff I want to hear, and I hope it plays out that way. Real quick, shout out to my guys, the Organic Fanatics Show, Raul, Two Shots, Machete, and my guy, New Nicks. Appreciate all you guys. If you haven't checked out the Organic Fanatics Show, please check them out, man. Fun bunch. Really great chemistry and camaraderie. They family out there. I mean, and even if they're close friends, they like family too, man. So go show them some love. He says salute to SKF, Ron, AA, the closer, all in the chat and the cast. Appreciate you, man. Jay Boogie, what's your thoughts, man? How you feel about the Knicks start?
Hey, real quick before I forget about it, I want to shout Bridges out for his accomplishment, being an Iron Man, playing the whole entire 82 games. Shout him out for that. But I'm also going to flip it not once, not twice, but 3 times. This would be the only guy ever in the NBA history that'll play all 82 games for 3 different teams. Let's understand that there. All 82 games for 3 different teams. There won't be nobody else to ever do that again. There hasn't been nobody that done it before. It won't be nobody else that'll do it again. So he solidified himself, completely to the side from anybody other that's being called an Iron Man. Far as how I feel about how we're going to come out, I think it's a boxing match. And when I think it's a boxing match, I believe that we have Terrence Crawford at the point guard. I believe Terrence Crawford, better known as Brunson, is going to come out and survey this guy. Going to see what they're willing to give up, and once he realizes what they're willing to give up, I believe he's going to attack that. Getting the ball to the other guys and let them get started, let them get going. You know what I'm saying? Counter punching. I believe this is going to be too many combinations for Detroit Stars in a playoff atmosphere game. This is something that they have never been in amongst their team. I ain't even going to say Tobias been here, because if you know anything about Tobias, he's been in the playoffs and out of the playoffs at the same time playing in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He got a taste of what we like when we played against Philly. He know what it's like to go against this organization and this fan base, So I just look for us to come out there and handle our business, set the tone, you know what I'm saying, and let them know this is not the regular season. This is right here. If you want to go 10 rounds, we'll go 10 rounds. But we're not looking to go 10 rounds. We're looking to knock you out in 5. What that is, no more than 5 games. I look at it to be 4-1, real early and fast. Get these guys up out of the floor, rest up, you know what I'm saying? See if we can finish before Boston or at the same time as Boston. We cannot allow Boston to go ahead and handle their business and get rid of their first round, and we still playing deep in the pause into our first round playoff series. 6-7 games. That is too much, But I think the guys are rejuvenated. They're fresh. They got their legs back up on them. They're ready to go. They got something to prove. Everybody is on the same page. Everybody's ready to turn up. I believe they cannot wait to get inside that building to see how electrifying this building is here for this orange and blue and for this team right here. And once Detroit see what's going on, they're going to have their little moments, in the game. They're going to make their little spurts. But I believe when it comes to the end of this game, it's going to be a blowout. We're going to win by at least 11, 12, 13 points, and I'm going to be happy with that. But when you talk about the best players, there's no doubt in my mind we have the best player in this series. That's Jalen Brunson, averaging over 30 points per game throughout his playoff career. There's no doubt that Towns, to me, is the number 2 guy. You know what I'm saying? All-star starter. You know what I'm saying? Somebody mentioned, I think, on Triple A mentioned that earlier inside the show. So to me, we have the top 2 players. Is he one of them? Yeah, but we out of the 5, we have 4. I'm not going to forget Bridges, and I'm not going to forget OG. Now, but the dude is real talented, but I always say hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. If we start playing hard amongst our talent, we'll be playing like we did last year. But them guys, they got some of an identity of what we had last year, and that's why they're shocking people. When we was down, we was short on players. The team played hard. They fought for one another. This team been doing that pretty much all season. But this is the series that I think talent is going to beat the hard work, because we're going to play hard along with the talent, man. And once again, 5 games at the most. If not a gentleman sweep, it's going to be a 4-game sweep. Woo! The 4 horsemen style.
I'm
like
with that. I'm
I
million
like that. I like that. That's dope. I like that a lot. Shout out to Long Island Sound 1 in the building. What up? He said 9-man, no Kolick, no Huck Porty, no Jacob. No, our best, very best, only those guys get okay. Yeah, okay. I got you. But I see where you're going. Yeah, I got you. And I do think Precious deserves to get his moment. Whether or not I feel like Precious is going to be here next year, which I told you I don't think he will. I think Precious deserves his moment.
Hey, Rod, we got to tell Long Island he better hope. I'm hoping Kolek and Huckaporty and Jacob and them do get playing time, because that means we're blowing them out, right?
Ooh, I like where you're going. I mean, that'd be nice. That would imagine. You know how exciting a feeling it is for these young kids to be able to get there and get out there on a basketball court during a playoff game, even if it's garbage time, just that feeling of hey, I played in the playoffs in the NBA. It is what it is. Shout out to two Knicks chicks in the building. Said what's good, Ron J Boogie. Salute to the chat. What's up? Appreciate Lady and the Chef and Diva Locks, guys. As I say it all the time, if y'all haven't checked out two Knicks chicks, what are you waiting for? Go check them out. Show them some love, man. More quality Knick content. This Knick community is jam packed full of it. So you definitely can find it no matter where you look. Just got to go seek it out.
The first and the only two lady podcast. The first and the only mother and daughter podcast. Don't forget that.
Facts. That's
set
true.
Yeah? That's awesome, man. When is that?
We set trending.
They got different days. I don't know their schedule. I know they come on either Saturday or Sunday, and then they also come on during the week. But just if you just Google two Knicks chicks on Google, YouTube two Knicks chicks, you'll be able to see them. They'll pop up.
I should have just knew that. Sorry, forget it.
No, you good. Hey, you asked a question that somebody out there might be thinking. They just can't say it.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no
appreciate
doubt.
you. Shout out to JM3. What's going on, my guy? All right, now let me get over to D-Rex. D-Rex, what's your thoughts, brother? How you feel like the Knicks are going to come out tonight as far as their start?
Honestly, I agree with Jay in the sense that I feel like, look, normally during the season, they take their time, kind of feel it out, what the opponent wants to do, who's hot, who's not, whatever, in the first quarter. And then they settle into their groove and seem to do well. But I feel like we've seen more often than we'd like the fourth quarter collapse, the third quarter slump this season. And if we remember the playoffs last year, the Nembhard 3, really, you can almost boil down the entire series to that. The fourth quarter Nembhard 3, which, look, a lot of people don't like Precious, how he's been playing lately. My opinion, if he had been in that fourth quarter, maybe he blocks a shot. Who knows? I feel like he's a defensive guy, a playoff riser. And I feel like these are little adjustments between games that you should adjust to, not necessarily say that guaranteed he blocks it, but that's the type of thing I'm worried about is that and that's why people could say I'm skeptical, I'm negative, whatever. I don't want it to come down to, we ignore Nembhard. Who is looking out for Nembhard? You know what I'm saying? The entire series. Nembhard's the guy who's going to kill us. Imagine you said that in the pre-Pacers series, the previews. People would have said you're crazy, But that's why I'm sitting here saying these things is because we've seen it happen last year. That some bozo we never heard of shoots a hero 3. The series has changed. The end, in the fourth quarter. So I feel like they're gonna whoop them in the first quarter, bro. I really feel like that's what's gonna happen. But then I'm worried. My worry is they get a huge lead. We won the series already. We won. That's it. We won. GG's. Give us the trophy. That's what I'm worried is gonna happen. And then third quarter, let's say Beasley hits a big 3. Here it comes. And then that's what I'm worried about.
Come on, man.
No, but that's exactly what's been our issue. Our issue has been we've been getting those leads, and in the third quarter, go check the last 5 games. The third quarter, we lose at least by 10 points every time. Go check it. So we can't do that. We got to come out with the same aggression or even more in the third than we even did in the first. That's crunch time.
And that's why, even against the Cavs, we were up by 23? And until that point in the season, we had never lost when we were up by more than 15. Like, I feel like once that overconfidence starts to build, it's like a poison. Really, it's like a poison. Because who would have said, imagine the exact moment the Knicks are up 20 to the Cavs, you go say the Knicks are going to lose this game. The Knicks Twitter would kill you. They would literally tar and feather you.
It's definitely that 3. I don't know what it is, but you go in there, something maybe it's feeling relaxed. I like what Boogie said. Boxing's my favorite sport. That first quarter is the first round. You feeling to see how strong this guy push, how he plays, where he likes to go. Does he go left more? Is he doing that? But they already watched tape. They already did all this stuff. They already played him 3 times. So, right now, the best part about the playoffs is that we don't got to travel cross country every other day. We don't got to go back-to-backs. We don't got to do any of that stuff. We're playing one team. We're going to play him for 4 games. maybe 5, and it's not that far in proximity. And then the next one, I don't want to do that. I'm not touching the trophy all the way down, is even closer. So that's a beneficiary to us. Spaces, come out with fire. And you know what? I really believe that, I call him the Bulldog. Jalen Brunson's gonna put his head down. He's gonna realize that he's not supposed to be a 22-10 guy. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be a 35-6 guy, and he's gonna do his thing, full blown, and all of them, Cat, the whole, everybody. If you can't if you can't get hype for an occasion, I'm in the music business and the boogie is. There's a feeling you get. It's like hype, anxiety. I'm ready. It's like salivating at the mouth. You got to be ready like that. It's a dog fight. I don't care who we're playing. It could be Charlotte. We need to go out there like it's Boston every game.
That's
like
correct.
It's Cleveland every game. Like it's OKC every game. And put every ounce of our potential best.
You know what the crazy thing is, though? We don't even do that against Cleveland and Boston. We get up 1 point. We won. We're better than them.
But you keep talking about the past, bro. Let's move forward. That's what I'm saying. This is a new season.
We got to do it now.
They don't call it the second season for nothing. Let's do it now. Forget what we did. If we live in the past, we're going to lose.
Those are learning moments.
If we live in the past, the stats say we're going to lose. But I prefer to live in the future. And I think
that's how
they're going to do
that's
it.
the best way to be. That's how you got to go, Double A.
Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
That's a good point, too. What I'm going to say is I think that we have to also, let's not forget this. I see it. Let's not forget we also have to understand that the Knicks are starting to change, right? Everything that we're seeing, a lot of it is new. Even the stuff that we're not thinking about, it's because it's new. It's like we might be seeing. I talked about this last week a little bit, and I don't want to, go too crazy with it because we don't know for certain. We might be seeing the start of playoff Knicks, right? Like the Knicks they're still a pretty young team, but they're a little aging now. Guys are getting a little bit more up there. That you all already know that we're playing for a championship now. It's no longer building a team and rebuilding and getting everything right and changing the culture. That's all done. So we might be witnessing that this team is coming into we played in the regular season. We were just trying to get through now. We're at that point. We're just trying to get through the regular season. This is what we really been waiting for. Now you're going to see turn up time. This is, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised today, and I wouldn't be mad at it. I know there's going to be a certain fan out there in the chat that would be furious. But if the Knicks come out and they get off to a little bit of a slow start, whatever, first quarter is a little iffy. Then they start turning on the gas in the second. They come out of halftime, and they know they've been struggling in the third quarters lately. And Jalen Brunson goes crazy in the third and calls his number, but he's knocking it down. I'm not mad at. I am playoff Brunson. I'm not mad at all. I know somebody in the chat might be mad that he ain't moving the ball. If he's moving the ball into the hoop, I'm cool.
That's right. That other person should be rebounding and giving it right back to him if he's on.
That is right. That's right. The Knicks, what the Knicks have to do right now, and this is more important than anything else, guys. Yes, do they have to move the ball? Yes. The whole thing, I was going to tell you this before, with Josh Hart, if they decide to single Josh Hart out and Josh Hart is not really knocking down the outside shot, Josh Hart needs to come inside. And I don't mean that he needs to force the issue. I mean he needs to take his guy off the dribble because we know he can do that a little bit here and there. Take his guy off the dribble, get into the paint, and draw the defense, and then pass it to somebody else who's going to have a better shot at knocking it down.
Just don't freeze. Just don't freeze.
Yeah. Don't freeze. You got to be authoritative about what you're doing and make that move, and then dish the ball to somebody who can get a better shot. right? That's one with Josh. The other thing I was thinking is with regards to how they move today, whoever has the hot hand, that's who the Knicks need to play through. If Jalen's got it, go through. If Cat's got it, if OG comes out, hits a couple threes early in the first quarter, OG better be a focal point in this game. That's what I'm trying to say. That when the Knicks start to, and when Tom Thibodeau moves away from the hot hand, which I'm not saying he's going to do it, but we've seen him. We saw it with campaign even. Like we've seen it all throughout the. Sometimes he let that hot hand fizzle out. We can't have that. This is the playoffs. We got to play the hot hand.
Ball. No ISO ball. No ISO.
Well,
ball.
I mean, it depends, Double A, because ISO ball is what Cat and what Jalen does.
Well, what I'm saying, I believe that we should run the offense through Cat.
Right.
That's the way I feel. He's a good passing center, and it's going to take a lot of pressure off of Brunson. You know, Brunson got to be like trying to dribble by this guy, past this guy, like Jay has been saying all year.
Wait. Hold on one second, Double A. Who's talking? I don't see you, B. You like this. Hey, where you at?
Who, me?
Yeah, change that camera, man. I can't see your face.
Okay, that's planned.
Like, where you go, B?
No, like Jay was saying, you know, Jay was saying Brunson plays better like an off guard. You know, he has to work a lot less. He doesn't have to work as hard. And if we play him like that against the Pistons, he's going to be more effective. He's not going to wear down. And, you know, remember, he's still coming off this ankle injury. He himself has said on that roommate podcast that he's not 100%. Right. He's close, but he's not 100%. So what I'm saying, our offense will flow a lot easier if we're not waiting for Brunson to try to break down his man to try to get our offense in. Because it's going to take too much time off the clock, and we're going to have to hoist up something in desperation shot. So what I'm saying, our offense will flow a lot easier if our point of attack is, come on, man, Cat has an advantage. If somebody has an advantage on the court, it's going to be Cat. Duran is a good player, but, you know, on offense, but he can't stay with Cat. And Cat can easily get him into foul trouble as well. You know what I'm saying? And he can play just like you were saying with Hart, you know, where you make a quick move because, you know, now Cat, he can shoot from three. He can take a man off the dribble. He can post him. So now, you know, if you're playing offense through him, he's going to have the advantage and he doesn't have to work as hard. You know, Jalen could get a lot of post up shots. You know, he don't have to try to break his man down all the time because they're going to be on him. They're going to be trying to push him and on him. And we can't afford to have seconds on the clock wear down him trying to break down the offense. That's all I'm saying.
No, I mean, that's fair. I can agree with that. So let me ask you guys this. If you had to pick, and I'll give each of you guys a turn to answer. If you had to pick, who do you think is going to be the most important or impactful player in today's game? D-Rex, I'll start with you. Who do you think?
You're putting me on the spot. I don't like to make such.
And obviously, I'm talking about a Knicks player, not a Detroit player. We know who their guy is. I know. I mean, but also do not sleep on Malik Beasley because he is a Knicks killer. So just putting that out there. Continue.
Also, yes, he is historically a Knicks killer, so we should be aware. We're not.
Yeah, but he already got blackboard material, so he's a target.
Yes, he does. Yes.
Look, I don't know the specific game. I won't say. For me, the player of the series that I feel like just has the biggest advantage on the Knicks is Cat.
But don't forget the series. Just today's game, a first game of a series. Bro? Yeah.
You know what? Just to be spicy, just to be different, and to be a little bit consistent with my theme, I'm going to say Precious. I'm going to say Precious comes out, has another big dunk on Isaiah Stewart. They're trying to tough on us, and then, you know, he surprises them. I still think for the series it's Cat, but I think Precious will surprise us.
Okay, that's fair. I could work with that. What you think, Jay Boogie?
I'm choosing Bridges because I'm hoping he's playing Cunningham. I'm hoping he's checking him because the stats and statistics they show that he has his way with OG. So if Tom makes the adjustment and puts him on Cade, then that allows he should be picking him up full court. I don't even if he's checking Cade, throw your offense out and sell out on defense. That's what I'll be looking for. Him shutting that guy down. Once he goes, it's a wrap. But if Bridges, I'm looking for Bridges, pretty much right today. Because he set the tone. He said it the other day, how, my mid-range, he loves his mid-range game because so many people are concentrating on defending the trade, and so many people are defending and concentrating to defend you, getting to the basket. But that pull-up mid-range, there is no concentrated defending for that shot. And that's his bread and butter. That mid-range he has is deadly once he gets to cooking and going. So my key player for the day is Bridges.
All right, I like it. I'm gonna go to because Double A already said that I'm gonna go to Double A and then to J. Double A, you feel like Bridges as well?
I'm going with Bridges too, because unlike a lot of people, I guess, feel that he hasn't had such an underwhelming season as a lot of people are making it out to be. If you look at his scoring, he's right about average, career average, as far as points per season. I mean, we weren't expecting him to come in here and score 20 points a game, right? With Cat and Brunson on the same team, right? I just think it's not reasonable to expect him to score 20 points a game. He could have been a little bit tougher on defense, but look, he's learning a new team, and I think that he is going to show out in these playoffs. And he's very important because if he can get the ball, make Cunningham give the ball up early, that's going to tear up their offense. So that's why I think Bridges is very important. He can disrupt their offense and take the ball out of Cunningham's hands early in the play. That's why I was hoping, they put a taller player on Cunningham at the beginning on point of defense. That way, when we switch, you still got a tall player on him, and you don't end up on Brunson, because that's what Cade's been doing. He tries to fish out Brunson and try to get the mismatch. He tries to do that. So I'm with Boogie, man. If Bridges, I think he's going to come and bring it and show why we gave 5 picks up for him.
Okay, I like that. I mean, listen, I like where it's going. I like the point of why you're saying that too, because I hope, I really look. I mean, we just want our guys to play well, and Bridges wants the redemption. I want him to have it, but we'll see. Even if it don't happen in Game 1, it could definitely happen in this series.
Does Bridges have the most to prove?
I'm sorry?
Does Bridges have the most to prove on the Knicks?
I think so. I think at the moment he does, because there's just people will not let this 5 picks go, man. Like I don't know how long we're going to keep bringing it up. Like, I get it. We gave up 5 picks for him, but at some point you just got to say, all right, he's here. Now, what am I going to, what are you going to say?
The 5 picks are going to always be there, and they only got even worse when the Dallas and the Lakers made the trade. So
yeah, they weren't worth nothing. But
yeah, it's going to always linger over. And whether they're worth anything, 5 picks is 5 picks. It's what you do with the 5 picks once you get them. Could you imagine we had those and Luka was available immediately? Right. We could have got that. So
exactly.
It's the collusion thing on that end, because on the flip side of it, Jay Boogie, ain't nobody saying when Luka gets when Luka plays one of these other teams and gets busy, ain't nobody. This is because y'all got Luka because of the inside. The inside scheming, man. He wouldn't have been doing that for y'all if they did things the right way. Ain't nobody bringing it up, even though that's the case. Because
my thing is he wasn't offered to no other team but the Lakers. That ain't good business, man. You put him out there and put him out on the market, and you get the highest bidder, right?
That's the collusion.
You think that's the way it happened, but nobody but the Lakers got a shot at Luka. That's
There's,
I don't know, man.
Dallas is good for the
there's
NBA.
far more involved in that trade than most people think.
Well,
Right?
we
Yeah,
know
Far more involved.
we could talk about it. I mean, I've read a whole bunch. I've read the articles. I read the most important one about the whole thing of how this is all being set up for the Vegas move and how Dallas might be the
Right.
team that moves to. I've seen it all, and it looks very suspect. So, but hey,
but
I hear
how
you.
does
It's a
that help them
suspect
though?
when they try to trade Chris Paul to him, and then they negated that trade, and then they put him to the Clippers. So, like, there's been that throughout history. This one just happens to be right now and very weird. But at the same time, if you had a healthy, and I know this is totally, I don't even want to talk about this. It's not Knicks talk, but at the same time, a healthy AD would have made that Dallas team with the healthy Kyrie a very formidable opponent to anybody because AD was doing his damn thing in the Lakers and the ball was moving through him most of the time. But that's not the question. That's not what you asked. I'm going to say this. For today, since you asked for today, I think it is going to be. See, I hate to pick one person who's going to be, because I actually think it's going to be the two guys who went to the All-Star game. But
I mean, it's okay. Like, if you feel like it's going to be a double-headed monster, that you could say that. It's okay. We're
okay,
just talking about who's going to be most impactful today. Maybe they
all right,
have the same level of impact.
all right. So it's such a loaded question because I also think OG is going to be most impact. All right. So here's the deal.
Okay, now
I
you got to
think
pick
that-
somebody.
Right. I got to pick somebody. So I'm going to go with captain. I'm going to go with the captain clutch from last. I'm going to go with the captain. I believe that he's the guy who's going to be making the tough shots and making the tough passes and doing what he's got to do. At the same time, I believe that if we utilize Cat the way he should be utilized against the young Duran, especially if they have Mitch next to him and he can play his natural position, I think that he's good for 40. That's how good he can play like that. But for today's game, I'll go with the bookends. I'm going to go with the bookends. I'm going to go with Brunson and Cat.
Okay, all right, that's fair. And because it's game one, because I know it's going to be a lot of feeling out, and I know that the one constant, in my opinion, is look, you know, the whoever thinks that I don't like him, it's not the case. I do like him. I just think that if teams want to try to stop Cat, they can. He just has to figure out what he can do to adjust to it. Do I feel like anybody can really stop Cat? No. If Cat plays and makes the proper adjustments on the court, I think he can get whatever he wants. They may take his driving lanes away. He's got to be smart enough to say, I'm going to pull up and shoot a mid-range shot or take that three when I get it. Sometimes Cat gets a little stubborn and he wants to get what he wants to get. But he's so talented, he can still get whatever he wants. He just has to do it a little different. And that is the difference, in my opinion, between him and Brunson. Brunson already knows that when they start taking away what I like to do, if my shot's not falling a certain way, I have to do something else. And he doesn't have the height on his hands. So he does it automatically. So that's why I'm going to pick in today's game, with no matter how Detroit comes out and tries to play defense, I think Brunson will probably be the one. As long as his shot is falling, he'll be the one guy that is kind of going to be able to get his no matter what. So I'm going to go with Brunson for game one. We'll see. Listen, honestly, if it was really up to me, I want it to be OG. I want OG to cook because I think when
That's where I was stuck
when
at.
OG is cooking, the Knicks are special. So,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
Oh yeah.
And not to mention the fact that his importance being the two-way player is more important. That look, our two best scorers probably our two weakest defenders out of the starting five. So, I was going to go OG, but I just, if playoff Brunson is different. And if you feed Cat the right way, you feed a cat, he's always going to come back for more. You ever heard of that? So,
right. That's fair. But so let me do this. I got the super chat. I want to get to. I got the matchups that I want us to look at, and we'll talk about who has the nod, who has the edge. I mean, this is going to be pretty easy in my opinion, but whatever. We'll do it. And I also want to talk about this real quick before I get to the super chat. Brooklyn Knicks fan was talking about those picks for those picks get Giannis. Those picks, see, the whole thing is, yes, those picks would help get Giannis, but it wouldn't be everything. Imagine you'd have to give up 4 or 5 first-round picks, OG Anunoby or Mikal. Well, we're saying right now you'd have to. We wouldn't have Mikal if we had the 5 picks. So you'd basically have to trade OG and those 4 or 5 picks, maybe something else, to get Giannis. And then what are you left with? You're going all in with Giannis. Fine, Giannis is a hell of a player, but now you've given up your best two-way player. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Giannis becomes your best two-way player, right? But
he damn sure does.
He does. But
I take a team starting with him and Brunson, bro.
I know. I mean, listen. I'm more thinking about what Milwaukee would want for Giannis. Giannis, they ain't going to just say, "Here, take him." We want picks and we want players, right? And maybe OG and 5 picks wouldn't even be enough. They maybe want a little bit more. Giannis is a superstar.
Yeah, but if you look at it, the way OG is playing, especially the way he's upped his offensive game, he can be a legit 25-point-a-game scorer if he has the touches.
The time that we did trade, right?
You know what I mean? So
yeah, it would all depend.
His value is really high right now because he's not just a defensive player.
First thing you got to wonder if does he have a trade clause?
That's true too.
That's a major part. If he has a trade clause or no trade clause, because if he get to picking and choosing where he want to go, we're one of them teams that's on the list. He likes it. So, versus going to go play without a trade clause and him go playing with some superstars, which he doesn't like. That's what he doesn't do in the summertime. Hang out with them guys. He doesn't play with them guys. He don't play tournaments with the guy. He does none of that with them guys. You know what I'm saying? So that clause is a very important part when it comes to talking about Giannis. Let them go out this first round. He's ready to take that daggone deal off.
Yeah, facts. That is a fact. And so let me get to the super chat real quick. Beep, 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 beep. Y'all get it. You know what it is. Shout out to Brooklyn Knicks fan. Thank you for the generous super chat. He says the Knicks got bigger fish to fry. Knicks in 5. I like it. That's the mantra. I like it. And shout out to my guy, the Predicate, saying, like Rakim, we're gonna see if the Pistons know the ledge. Salute, Knicks in 5. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's see if I know the ledge.
Let's go. All right. So
a lot of people don't understand that ledge. Not knowing the ledge doesn't mean there's not somebody throwing you off the ledge. If you always look in that video, he ain't jumping. That's a throw. Somebody threw him off the ledge. That's a Piston player, y'all. That's a Piston player. That was Cade Cunningham, matter of fact.
Yeah,
Isaiah Stewart.
That was Cade Cunningham jumping off the ledge out of frustration.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get out of Madison Square Garden.
All right, so let me put this up for y'all. This is what we're looking at, man. We'll talk about this a little bit. Let's get these matchups going. All right. This is the first one. Let me drop this down. This part right here. Okay. So, man, I should have did a longer timer on this. I don't know. Hopefully y'all can see everything. Can y'all see the bottom line? I don't think you can. Can y'all?
Yeah, free throw.
Yeah, can you see it? Like, is it being blocked by anything, or you see it normal?
No, I see it normal.
Oh, okay, it's just blocked on my end. Okay, cool. All right, we straight.
Yeah, we can see free throws the bottom thing. We can see every number.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, so this is the postseason player matchups, guys. As you can see, this is our point guard matchup. This is Jalen Brunson versus Cade Cunningham. And so when people try to say that Cade Cunningham is the best player on the court, this is what they're trying to look at to say that. And if you were purely going by numbers and the fact that he has more height, the fact that he's a little younger, and the fact that he has a little bit better defense on his side, it would look like that is correct, right? And I know I just gave him a lot of praise when I said that. We're talking about 26 points versus 26.1, 2.9 rebounds to 6.1, 7.3 assists to 9.1, 48.8 from the field for Brunson, 46.9 for Cade, 38.3 from three for Brunson, 35.6 for Cade, 82.1 from the free throw line to 84.6 for Cade. But what it doesn't show is the intangibles, the winning, the clutchness, playoff Brunson moniker, the stepping up big in the biggest of moments.
Not only that, what about supporting cast? Okay, Brunson would be scoring a lot more points if Cat wasn't on his team.
Oh yeah, right? I mean, if you switch Cade Cunningham with Jalen Brunson's averaging 30 points per game.
Right. I look at field goal percentage, which Brunson has the edge, and I look at 3-point percentage, which Brunson has the edge. Right. Assists. I mean, Brunson has that with how many guys on his team are averaging over 5 assists. You got Hart averaging high in assists. You got Towns average high in assists. Bridges is averaging about 5 assists. So, that's why Cunningham is averaging 9. So that's the intangible. You got to look at who's on our team. So Brunson ain't going to have as much opportunities to score as Cunningham.
Correct.
And also, really quick, Ron, almost 50% field goal for a 6'1" point guard.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Nuts.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely it's an interesting matchup. I understand, like I said, I gave the rationale for Cade and why some people are leaning towards Cade being the better player, but they're not looking at the big picture. So we know as Knicks fans, we've seen it. We saw it. Philadelphia could tell you a little something about it. They understand. So, yeah. So that's the first matchup. I think.
And then what about, I'm sorry, the last intangible that is not showing or reflecting over here is playoff experience. And having done it in the playoffs, and Brunson has not only done it with the Knicks, he did it with Dallas too, where he had to be the man.
That's right.
That's true. That's a very great point. Very great point. And yes, when Luka was out and he had to be the starting point guard, he was cooking. That's what Donovan gave him those praises. Like he's got it. He's him. Okay. All right, let's go to the next matchup. All right. Josh Hart versus Tim Hardaway Jr. And the funny thing is, as much as Malik Beasley likes to talk and all this stuff, he's coming off the bench. Okay. Tim Hardaway still looks to be their starting shooting guard, at least for now, unless they change it up. But so you got Josh Hart versus Tim Hardaway Jr. Josh Hart, 13.6 points per game. Say what you will about Josh Hart. Tim Hardaway Jr. is supposedly a shooter. Josh Hart got better points per game than Tim Hardaway Jr. Isn't that crazy? I'm just saying. I know he's not the best.
That's why he
is very erratic. I know. Yeah. We know him well. We know him well.
Do.
9.6 rebounds to 2.4, 5.9 assists to 1.6, 52.5 from the field to 40.6. Once again, say what you will about Josh Hart. He may not have the greatest outside shot, but he can score in the paint. 33.3 from three, which when you look at Josh, sometimes you think he shoots even worse than that. That actually is like, it's pretty decent for someone who's a bad shooter. To 36.8 for Tim Hardaway Jr., 77.6 from the free throw line. We know Josh sometimes doesn't focus that great from the line. He always misses one. It seems like it. But to 85.5 for Tim Hardaway Jr. If you look at this matchup, who do you think wins the matchup?
Hart.
I mean, come on.
I mean, Hart. I mean, almost every statistic except for free throws.
What you think, J Boog?
Man, it's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer. This guy, that guy has never in his life had a triple-double. Not one. Josh can go for a triple-double in any moment, any game. So, that's a no-brainer to me, And it's nothing I can say about the first one y'all talked about. Y'all guys are geniuses. And there's nothing more I can say about the Brunson and the Cade. But this right here is a no-brainer, man. I'm going with Josh Hart all day.
I hear you.
Yeah. Every day, all day, every day, even on leap year. Listen, it's not even close. The things that this man does for his size. Look at the rebound numbers. Now, if anybody knows how tall, they're probably about the same height, right? You two?
No, Hardaway 6'6". Hardaway 6'6".
So he's even taller than Hart. Look at the rebound numbers.
It's crazy.
Look at the assist numbers.
It's nuts.
Right. He and Hart to me is much more of a small forward type of player than he is a shooting guard, right? He plays to me like a small forward. So you're looking at this as a shooting guard, and this other guy is definitely a shooting guard. I call him this other guy because until his father went to Miami, his father was one of my favorite players, right? So he's definitely not his father's. He don't got that type of stock. But I'll tell you what, the no-brainer, I'm going to stick with the J with the J. I'm going to go with the same answer. It's an absolute no-brainer every day, including leap year. Josh Hart.
Yeah, Hardaway is a one-dimension player. He's offense. Hart is all around.
Yep. And like you said, he never got he didn't even sniff a triple-double. This guy go on the court, he could get a triple-double any day of the week. So
yeah, I agree. And shout out to David Smith. He said this goes back to the first matchup. He said Cade cooked the captain last game. Yeah, but Jalen Brunson had missed a month of basketball. It was his third game back, still trying to find his game and find his shot. Then you also said that Garland cooked them an undersized Brunson. Incorrect. Garland did not cook him. Garland finished with 26 points. Jalen Brunson finished with 27 points. That was Jalen Brunson's best game back offensively since being out a month. So, no. And if you want to point to certain things, how did Garland look a couple years ago in the playoffs versus Jalen Brunson when we took Cleveland out? How did Garland look then? Come on, David. Don't do that. Don't do it, baby. Don't do it.
If you're not going to like, it's one thing not to like somebody, but it's another thing to.
I mean, we got to be fair. You can't
be fair
like
about
you can say that you want Jalen Brunson to be better. You expect more from him, but you can't downplay what he is, what he has done, like what his impact on this team is. You can't downplay that. Like he still is something. He still is a special player. He may not be where you want him to be, and you may want more from him, but don't take away what he does do. Like I said, when I talk about Cat, I may get on him sometimes because he's impulsive on defense and he doesn't listen. He just can't stay straight up with his hands. He's 7 feet. But I don't go against how special he is offensively. I ain't gonna talk negative about that side.
Or that foul in Boston.
Well, yeah, Let's move to the next one.
Yeah. I think Mr. Smith is Mark Cuban.
All right. We see the next one up is Mikal Bridges versus Ausar Thompson. Now, this one, unfortunately, guys, I know you don't want to hear this, this is a little closer than you think. All
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Because as much as Mikal Bridges is the better offensive player and technically could be the better defensive player, Osur Thompson is no slouch on defense. He's got a lot of fight, he's got a lot of hustle and grit, he's got a real talented makeup, and you gotta take him, you can't take him for granted. Them Thompson boys, they no joke. I like both of them. They special. So points per game, 17.6 for Macau to 10.1 for Asur. 3.2 rebounds for Macau. You know that's not his specialty. To 5.1 for Asur. 3.7 assists to 2.3. Neither one of them excel at this. However, Macau, the last few games of the season, was starting to move the ball around a little bit more. The assist numbers was around 6 or 7. So he's showing that if you need him to be, he can be that guy. That's good. Field goal percentage 50 from the field to 53.5. Here, I think that number is a little bit more oppressive for Macau because he does take a lot of jump shots. So the fact that he's shooting 50% from the field is a very nice number. It's a little more impressive. 35.4 from three to 22.4. That's not Asur's game. So Macau's definitely got him there. And then free throw line, 81.4 to 64.1. Like, it's just no doubt about it. Macau is the better scorer, the better shooter. But like I said, it's a lot closer because the defensive side of it is a lot closer. Both of them play some pretty good defense. And if Macau's not playing right offensively, then Asur is right there with him. You know what I mean? They turn into like the same player, which is not good
Yeah,
for the Knicks.
but Asor is not going to be playing Bridges. I think they're going to put Asor on Brunson to start off.
Ooh, well, you might be right. And if they do that, that can make things very interesting and a little tricky for Brunson. It might make it a little tougher. We've seen Brunson fight against bigger opponents before, and he struggles a little bit until he can figure out his way to to
Right.
to do something against them.
And this
The
is
old
why our offense should run through Cat.
Maybe you're right, and that's the case. Because if they do play him like that, I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree that they should do that, and they should also try to get OG and Macau more
Yeah,
involved to take the pressure off of Brunson, and that
yeah,
will loosen up. The thing is, if they run the offense through Cat and allow Macau and OG to get involved in the game, it'll loosen up everything and it'll allow Asur might have to say, "Oh, I can't keep guarding Brunson. I got to switch because these other guys are cooking," and that'll allow Brunson to get going even more. So
See,
we'll
that's
see how
that's
the
what
Knicks play.
that's what I'm hoping for, Ron, because
Yeah,
this has been Tibbs' downfall in the past. Okay, is he doesn't know how to adjust. In other words, if he sees Brunson is having a hard time getting into the spots and getting his shot, instead of rotating and okay, let me go through Cat now or let me go through OG now, he still pushes that envelope. He still pushes and tries to force the issue, trying to get Brunson to get his, and then what you end up having it is Brunson taking 25 shots and making 11. He still get his 20 points, whatever, but the other team just, rest of the guys just stand around. They're not involved in the offense, and we lose. So this is why I'm hoping Tibbs will adjust to what the situation calls for. You know, make them play your game. Make them play our game. If they put a sore on Brunson, then burn them with Cat or burn them with OG or burn them with somebody else. Okay, because they got but a certain amount of good defenders on that team, right? We know Thompson is a good defender, but who else on that team you're going to say is a lockdown defender?
yeah.
Can
I mean, they
somebody?
don't. Right. I mean, they play
Nobody.
really good team
Nobody.
defense.
So they have limited. Okay. So that's where I'm saying our edge is. We got four offensive players that can go for 40 plus points, have gone for 40 plus points in their career. Okay. That can go off. So this is why I'm saying Tibbs, make them play our game. Don't play their game. Make them play our game.
I'm with you on that. I agree. All right, let's look at the next matchup. But in this case, we just know that really Mikal should win this matchup. He's got the chops to be
Yeah.
as good of a defender or better than Asur. And then offensively, it's not even a question. So it's just about going out there and playing. You know? All right, next matchup. Yeah, and that is OG Ananobi versus Tobias Harris.
Another no doubt about it.
Yeah. I mean, so points per game.
Harris disappears. He disappears in the playoff.
That is that's a knock that's been following Tobias Harris for a lot of his career. Very true. 18 points per game to 13.7. Rebounds 4.8 to 5.9. Tobias has always been a better and he's a decent rebounder, much better than OG, really. 2.2 assists to 2.2. They're washed there. But 47.6 from the field to 47.7 for Tobias. Tobias always could shoot. Nobody questions if he could shoot the ball. He could shoot. 37.2 from three for OG. Nice number. He's gotten that number to rise from where it started. 34.5 for Tobias. And then 81 from the free throw line and 86.1 for Tobias from the free throw line. Here, this is basically, if we're looking at the players offensively, they are somewhat even, except right now, OG is at a point where he could take his game to a little higher level. Tobias has been in the league for many years, guys. Tobias is no spring chicken. He looks young still, but he's been in the league for a while. So OG is just at a better point right now offensively where he can match what Tobias is doing and take it a little bit further. And then defensively, there's no question who's the better defensive player between these two guys. So what you think, Jay Boogie? Who got the better matchup here?
Shout out to the office for never going to bring this guy to New York because he's from New York. First thing first.
Yep.
I'm going OG all the way. All the way is this guy. He's just scratching the surface as far as with his game, just scratching the surface. He was the number 4. He was the 4th option in Toronto. Sometimes 5th option. You know what I'm saying? Came here. We didn't even look at him far as an option. We just looked at him far as his defense and. Man, his game is done gotten better. You can tell he done worked on his game during the off season, which I call the on season, and he brought it into this season right here, and it's showing up in a lot of areas where a lot of people, what I'm saying, they thought he didn't have that type game, and he's only going to get better and better. And when he came here, we automatically knew he was the 4th seed. I mean, not 4th seed, the 4th option here. We just automatically knew Bridges would be at least the 3rd option because he coming from the Nets, being that he was the number 1 option. But with both of them here, OG has quickly become the 3rd option and is arguable at sometimes he becomes the 2nd option when Brunson was up out of here, if not the 1st option. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So shout out to OG, man. I'm taking OG, all the way on this. I don't care about what little stats he have a little bit better than OG. I seen OG performing to the playoffs, and I'm one of the ones that say if OG doesn't go down with that hamstring against the Pacers, we go to the Eastern Conference Final
and maybe win it, even with our decimated squad. I'm telling you right now, OG is that guy.
Yep. I agree with you. You guys, and you are not wrong on that. 100%. OG. To me, I got. Well, I'll save it. I'm gonna save it. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Well, let me kind of tell you something real quick because I didn't say it on this one. OG, I didn't even look at the numbers. I'm not even going to look at the numbers because it's not even fair. This one is not even fair. It's OG is head and shoulders better than him. Tobias is had like 1, maybe 2 great like good years, right? Like really good years, not off the chain type of years. and he became like a sort of name. You know what I mean? Like he was a good player, not not a midway player, not and then a starter,
Right.
And my boy does the content for the guy who trains him, and we went out to Arizona. This guy gets tired in like 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, he OG is look, man. But they're not going to. You're only doing this as a comparison to their position, because he's not going to stay. There's no need for him to stay on him. You know what I mean? So I think Hart's going to stick to Bias, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And
Okay.
one thing OG has advantage is, we looked at OG, and for most of his career, he's been looked at as a 3-and-D player. But, now that he's added, different dimensions to his game, like he has a real good uh, drive, move to the hoop now. As a matter of fact, Josh Hart nicknamed him the 6'8", 245 Demon. He says that's what OG has found out, that he's a 6'8", 245 Demon, and nobody can really stop him. I mean, he's a really solid built guy, So
Like a boxer.
I'm looking at him, between him and hopefully Precious gets some playing time, and Mitch really bringing that aggression. And also, depending on if they play Hunter or not, but those three guys, I'm looking for them to bring, I see they're talking about the Pistons being, physical and that, but those three guys, they can get physical.
Yeah, for the
All right.
12
All
minutes
right.
Mitch will play, I hope he plays hard.
No, I'm with you on that. All right, let me just get to this last matchup. I got my other brother backstage. Get him in here. But let me get to this last matchup real quick, and then bring him up in here. So the next matchup is, you guys could already guess who it is, obviously. But man, look at these numbers, bro. Woo-wee. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns versus Jalen Duren. Look at these numbers: 24.4 points per game to
Look at
11.8.
the three.
12. I know it's nuts, dude. It's freaking
Sorry.
nuts. 12.8 rebounds to 10.3. So right there, you could already see Jalen Duren is a very solid basketball player. Very solid. But look at Cat. Could you imagine? You know how tough it is to be this good offensively and all the different things Cat's doing and still be able to rebound at that level of a clip? It ain't easy. Especially when you're somebody that lives on the perimeter. Like, you got to get your tail back into the paint to grab these boards.
Yeah.
So 3.1 assists per game to 2.7. 52.6 from the field for a guy who shoots as often as Cat does. That is remarkable. 69.2 for Jalen Duren. You know, he lives close to the basket, so his numbers should be very high. It reminds us of a young Mitch, when Mitch used to hit that 70% mark, 72% I think he hit one time, which is incredible. But look at the three, 42% from three. I mean, just demolishing the percentage number. He's the best shooter from three on the team. Even Jalen Brunson, who was living at 40 for most of the year, has dropped down, but Cat has just risen. You know what I mean? Like 42% is nuts. Jalen Duren doesn't shoot from three, so that's null and void. And then 82.9 from the free throw line to 66.9 from Jalen Duren. And look, it goes back to the whole thing about the impact and the specialness between Cat. And if we wanted to look back, because it was always this whole Cat versus Julius Randle thing. Julius Randle was very big for us. He was a double-double type guy. He shot around 77% from the free throw line, around there. He shot pretty good from the field. He was always high 40s. But, I mean, you could just see the difference. Like, Cat brings you into that 82, 83 percentage from the free throw line. He has been rebounding better than Julius. I used to give Julius the nod. Up until this season, I always gave Julius the nod at being a stronger, better overall rebounder than Cat, because Cat sometimes would fall by the wayside. Even though he still had good numbers, just Julius seemed to be doing it better. But I can't say that anymore. Cat has continued to do it, and he's doing it on his own. Like I'm starting to feel like Julius might have. We talked about this last week a little bit on the show.
I know
Julius
where
really
you're
might
going.
have benefited from having a Mitchell Robinson out there with him, or a iHeart out there with him to help him, get those weak side rebounds and just be aggressive with it. Like, because he is not the same rebounder he was, which is still kind of surprising because he's playing with that bum ass Frenchman over there that I don't like, whatever his name is. You know who he is.
Yeah, I don't like him
Yeah,
either.
I don't like that guy at all.
We
But
don't
you
say
would think,
their name.
Duty Rudy. You talk about Duty
yeah,
Rudy.
Fruity
Duty
Tootie, whatever
Rudy.
his name is. Yeah,
Duty Rudy.
Goobers,
Rudy.
Gobbers, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so obviously, guys, this edge, I don't even have to ask y'all. Y'all know this edge goes to Karl-Anthony Towns. Unless something happens differently from Jalen Duren, unless he can become a more impactful player on the defensive side, you can't really ask more from this. This is a very good season from him. He's playing great. But this is Cat's matchup right here. So yeah, I just wanted to go through the matchups real quick so we kind of have an idea. Maybe the Pistons have a better
5-0.
bench. So what were you gonna say?
5-0.
Okay, I like it. Maybe the Pistons have a little bit of better of a bench, but it is what it is, man. It's gonna come down to these starters playing heavy minutes, and the Knicks definitely have the edge when it comes to that. All right, let's get back into
Let me just say one thing. Like this should, if the beginning of the year started everybody healthy, and this is where I wanted to go before, then that would have been Cat power forward versus Tobias, which would have blown him out of the water, and Mitch. Those numbers would have looked similar, except Jalen scores a little bit more than Mitch does. But the way Mitch rebounds and offensive rebounds is the difference. The second chances and stuff like that. And the interesting thing is, you could take the word might out of what you said earlier. Randall benefited from Mitchell and iHeart blocking out everybody else. Randall got a lot of rebounds that way, and that Frenchman over there don't do the same thing exact way, and that's why this year Randall had 7 rebounds compared to the 10 that he normally had with us. It's not the exact same thing, but isn't it interesting and a blessing at the same time that we started off with no center? We had a power forward playing center who got the best rebounding numbers of the year. He did do it by himself. And we started off with no Precious, none of these people, right? And now we're going into the playoffs fully healthy with the entire squad, completely opposite of what happened last year. And also, let's not forget that this year's team has a lot of pressure on them due to last year's team doing so well, even decimated. So, you know what?
That's fair.
It's put up and shut up, and I really believe it's 5 games at the most, period. And that's that.
That's fair. I mean, I hear you. That's a good point. And we have talked about that. Let me bring my guy in here. But I do want to say one thing, though. Do not be surprised, because this is where I tell you that this is the difference. This is the stuff that we didn't appreciate. Do not be surprised if everything we saw all season, the whole thing that we've already talked about, our bigs make it a little easier for Randall to clean up. Do not be surprised if all of a sudden you start to see Randall take that extra step with effort in the playoffs and start getting back to them higher rebounding numbers, because when he knows he needs to step up and push himself, he will do it. So I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. That being said, let me bring my guy in here. It's very rare that we get a chance to chop it up on the shows, because we both so busy and he's got so much going on, and it's tax season, people. So shout out to my guy, Mr. Lawrence Tiz himself, Uncle Freezy.
Freezy.
What's up, brother?
Salute, salute. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Salute.
Salute, man. Salute everybody. Salute to um, the distinguished panel and my hardcore Knicks fans in the chat, man. Love and appreciate y'all, man. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share, do all that stuff. So
Indeed. Indeed.
Yes, sir, guys. If y'all haven't checked out the Lawrence Tears Network and everything that Uncle Freezy is doing, I don't know what you're waiting for. He's been a staple in this here Nick community, in this Nick content creation game for a minute, and he's also paved the way and helped me and still Nick fans grow from the beginning. So I always like to pay it forward and do my own thing, but understand that comes on the shoulders of guys like Uncle Freezy and Sim, who have helped pave the way and make it easier for us to coexist in this space. So just wanted to put that out there and always continue to show and love and give people their flowers because they deserve it. When you're a certain type of person, you deserve to be acknowledged for that. So appreciate you once again, Uncle Freezy.
yo, did the video you did when you were walking? That's
Yes.
classic, bro. That's classic, bro. Y'all gotta check out that I think it's a short. Yeah, it was a short,
Yes,
right?
that's SKF walking and talking.
Bro, please check that out, bro. That is something so different, bro. That's fire, bro. I think that joint probably gonna get like 500,000 views, bro. That joint is fire, bro. That's a great idea.
I thought he was gonna do like Jimmy Walker and Let's Do It Again when he was training for boxing and jump up in a tree or something.
Yo, Jay, but he got to crash the truck before while he's looking at that girl. Remember that at the beginning?
Yeah.
When he almost crashed the truck, looking at that woman.
No, I was waiting. I was waiting for him to do that Spike Lee joint. You know where it moves. He just moves.
Oh,
You know what I'm
that's
talking
that
about?
Spike Lee camera. Yeah, I know what you're
You know,
talking about.
once every movie is at least one time is that thing where it's just a freeze frame. He's just moving like this and everything's moving around.
Yeah. Let me see what I could do, man. Maybe SKF starts to up our ante with our camera angles. We'll see.
When you get out of witness protection, we can start working that out. We'll see
Very soon, man. I'll let you know when I'm back in my normal situation. Y'all see. Anyway, but hey, man, Freezy, what's on your mind, man? I know you've been already. Also, guys, if y'all haven't checked out, I know we all share the same type of viewers and we all support each other. If y'all haven't seen the playoff preview between Steph and Uncle Freezy, check that out. Replay gang, man. It was very dope. I enjoyed it. So if you haven't checked it out, please check it out.
Did you see the joint? Me and Queen B did a joint.
Yes, sir, sir.
It's got like 3,500 views out of nowhere. We got to collab.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
More often, bro. We got to collab more often, bro. We got to collab.
I agree.
More often, bro.
I agree.
Yeah, man. Give the people what they want. We gotta get Jay Boogie in the booth. Like Jay Boogie, bro. We need you in the booth, bro. We need some anthems, bro. You gotta send us.
We need another anthem.
And Jay Boogie might have lost my email, but I'm gonna text it to him again, bro. Jay Boogie is my brother. Bro, as a matter of fact, I told the Jay Boogie and I told the story about Jay Boogie, me and Jay Boogie in Charlotte with Isaiah Hartenstein with the Jay Boogie. What's the joint? What's the joint off the you know what I'm talking about. Jay Boogie trying to be coy. He know what I'm talking about. He when you ask Hartenstein for the jersey, remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. that 55. Yeah. That's crazy. I was turning 55 then, man. I was asking for the jersey because he wore 55. That's why I was one of the ones that was not, upset about him going to get his money. A lot of people don't know these guys do really actually have to pay for them jerseys. And when he told me, yo, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I respected that, But he went on his Terminator arm and grabbed his sleeve and be like, Boogie here. He gave me a sleeve.
Love,
messing around with Freezy, I lost the sleeve.
Oh man, I did.
Oh.
That's dope.
Oh,
That's dope that he even did that though, and I respect that. Is that prior to him getting that bag?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That
why
was
he
his
didn't do the jersey.
that was his first year here.
Yeah.
Oh, so he
His
didn't get
rookie here. Yeah.
money.
Remember in the show earlier, I said I'm getting ready to turn 58 or 57. So I was 50, I was turning 55 then. Yeah, that was his first year here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dang,
so he was
I'm
making
getting old,
Yo,
yo.
$1.25 a
58
game.
in January, bro.
Yeah.
oh man.
58 in January. So
Yeah, I'm about to turn 48 next month.
shout out to the baby faces.
Hey, you know we
Yeah.
try.
I just turned 49 last month.
Hey, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't say nothing, double A. Don't say nothing, double A.
I got no comment.
No comment.
Hey, I just turned 66, bro.
Woo! The gun show, baby.
But I'm holding it down. I'm
Yeah.
holding it
Yes, you
down.
are. Yes, you are looking better than me. Both them guns look better than my two arms put together. All right, leave me alone. I don't want to talk
Hey,
about it.
Triple A. So I hope in 10 more years you don't become a Philadelphia 76er.
Who?
Oh, because of the age. Yeah.
He didn't catch that one.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I
Yeah.
see
Well, they've
what-
been contacting me, man.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. That's that's
Yo,
messed up.
you're right. You was gonna ask me about this Pistons.
Yes,
Bro,
sir.
legit. I was thinking about taking a nap at 6 o'clock because I think it's Knicks and can the Knicks win in 3.5? Can the Knicks win in 3.5, bro?
I like it. I like it. Yeah,
I'm so
I mean,
confident in Tibbs right now, bro. I'm so confident in Tibbs.
I'm glad somebody is.
Yeah,
I'm with him.
Yeah, I'm confident in Tibbs. But my thing is, I'm confident in Tibbs, but if he break my heart, bro, you know I'm too through, bro. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know how it is, bro. Like I'm super confident in that man, but if he pulled like some joints like he did in that Celtics game that we lost, when Josh Hart shooting, like if he pulls some of that in this series, bro, and stuff look weird, you know how you be in that relationship where you love somebody, but you know that person ain't good for you in the long run, so you just gotta put on a Teddy Pendergrass song. You know what I'm saying?
And cut it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's where I am with it, man. So
A little
So
bit of Kleenex.
let me ask you this, please.
Kleenex. You'll be all
Turn
right.
off the lights. Light a candle.
She party's over. Oh, no.
yeah.
Let me ask you this, Freezy. Who do you think?
Sorry, that all just hit me.
Nah, I know. Who do you think is? And it's tough with Tibbs because you know Tibbs is very loyal to his group. But in this particular instance, if there's somebody outside of the starters that you think could be an X factor in this game today, or if you want to say the series, I mean, I'll make it easier. Who do you think that might be? That's somebody that will step up that, you know, can help the Knicks get to where they're trying to go.
You asking everybody or
Freezy first, but
Freezy?
yes.
Yeah.
So if we being absolutely honest, the obvious answer is Mitchell Robinson.
Yep, indeed.
Right, that's the obvious answer.
Mhm.
And so shout out to man. I love Mitchell Robinson, bro. Like as a man, I saw his growth from a young. You remember when he used to fight his agent like every 6 months? Remember we used to talk about the
He fired like 4 or 5 of them joints.
Yeah. We used to talk about the immaturity issues and all that stuff. And then now you see him posting like family man stuff on Instagram where he done matured and grew up in the city. Like he grew up, became a man as a Knick, right? And so it's a part of that, man, where it's like, you know, I just love that fella. Now on the court, I'm vexed because I am in a tiny minority that think Mitchell Robinson is miscast as an offensive player, right? Like
Is miscast as a what, brother? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's miscast as an offensive player. Like for those of us that played maybe middle school basketball, B team basketball, high school basketball. Maybe you had I think Jay Boogie mentioned he played for a legendary coach. I played for a legendary coach too, and Coach Marcellus in Jersey City. And so you see Mitchell Robinson do fundamental things, and our guys don't get him the basketball. But we're taught like when he seals and opens up headed to a rim, if if Mitch has his man on his back, right, you're supposed to throw that ball to his outside hand so he
That's
can
right.
catch and finish. Now in today's game,
Mm.
they don't throw those pocket passes. They throw lobs, right?
Yep.
So your passes won't get tipped. We don't do that for Mitch, and you see that man sometimes screen 4, 5 times in a possession. That takes a ton of energy, and then just doing that alone should get him on the floor. But then when you couple that with offensive rebound and defensive presence and all of that, like he's doing the job of two people, but we don't even let him touch the basketball. Now I know Jay Boogie was running point, and I was playing the off guard. We'll make sure we get that man the ball because he's working so much, right? We don't get him the ball, and the reason why I say he's miscast is in our offense, we constantly want somebody threatening the rim so that it'll unlock other offensive looks on the floor, like the mid-range 3-point shots, weak side 3-point shots, where the defense has to scramble out to that corner of an uncovered man because a tag man is going to tag Mitch because Mitch is threatening the rim plus his man, which means the backside man has the responsibility of tagging the roller and scrambling out to the corner, but we don't necessarily get that
Yep.
because defenses don't feel threatened that Mitchell Robinson is going to get the ball. And it may be a thing like they're not confident that he can catch the ball in traffic, but we never see him bobble the ball like that in the game to even see it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you ask that man to do so much screening on offense, right? So much screening on offense, and then you see other guys just come in and chuck shots and they ain't even been here. Like look at all the shots that Campaign, Landry Shamet, and those guys take compared to Mitchell Robinson, who's a day one Knick. All he knows is the Knicks. Right? I think Mitch is the X factor. If we can get the Pistons to move their feet, I think you're gonna see a lot of action at the rim. And the Jalen Duren beef stew, if we talk about cats rim protection, watch this series, Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. They're tough. They're big, bulky guys. But these dudes they not meeting you at the apex at the, you know what I'm saying? They're not
Yep.
doing
Right.
that consistently.
They're not blocking you at the rim.
Yeah, they're not. They're playing that Karl Malone defense, moving their feet and be big, strong. They're like Oakley type guys. They moving their feet, beating you to the spot and force you to shoot over them. They're not.
And to
that
back
type
up your
of-
point, Freezy, you seen that dunk Precious had on Stu. Yeah, he took him straight to the rack.
Come on, bro. All series, bro. And if that's a threat, and then they have to deal with Brunson, and they have to deal with Cat, bro. Bridges and OG are gonna cherry pick this entire. Man, look, I'm gonna see y'all. I'm gonna see y'all next Sunday. We're gonna be laughing and have us a drink while we wait on Boston, bro. I can't see this series. I can't see the series going nowhere, bro.
I'm with you, man. If they handle their business, they just got to handle their business.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't see. And if we get Mitch the ball, like I like Mitch, and I think my thing is my thing with Mitch is it's never been with Mitchell Robinson. It's always been like with the Mitchell Robinson truthers that think that man can walk on water. That has always been my beef. Like I've never said. I always feel like Mitchell Robinson is undervalued. Sometimes I don't think he's assertive enough. Right? That may be what I'm talking about here. Maybe he's not as assertive. And if you have a beef with Cat, like having a great quarter and then disappearing, then you should really have a beef with Mitch not getting those interior touches. So that's where I am with it, man. Sorry for being long-winded, bro.
But
No,
let me
no,
ask
that's
you a question, though.
good question.
Don't you think that they
Good
should be
answer.
playing together then on the same time?
I'm sorry, say that.
Don't you think that Mitch and Cat should be playing together at the same time? It allows Cat to. I know that the problem before you respond to that is that we don't really have a backup big other than Precious. But if Mitch comes in, plays the way you're talking about, Cat gets to his natural position. Now you have two. The times that they played together, Cat, the best thing about Mitch is his offensive rebounds, giving us that second chance. When he played at the same time as Towns, Towns' offensive rebounds went up every single time. So just the same reason why Randall was able to get 10 rebounds was because of Mitch. I do agree with Ron. He's going to have a good playoffs, but it's still not the same thing to me. So do you believe that they should be playing at the same time?
How much are you talking about playing at the same time, and what personnel?
Not the whole game, obviously. You know, I always thought that they should start the first and the third quarter with Mitch and Cat on the floor. Run them for a few minutes. Take Mitch out, right? Take Mitch out. Then you take Hart, who should be coming off the bench, giving us that spark anyway. Come in, still grabbing rebounds, right? He's a rebound grabber. Now we still have 2 rebound grabbers. And then bringing in Mitch with some of the bench players when Cat has to go out. But at some point in the game, especially, during, like, let's say they bring in Duran and Stewart at the same time, they both should be on the court. And I also think that would help Cat not foul as much as well, because he's not jumping and going after the center.
You don't have to protect the rim either. You're right. You're right, Jay.
Yeah. So
another thing I see they don't do too is Bridges, right? Play him like they used to do R.J. Barrett. You know, take him out before the end of the first quarter, and bring him in with the second unit. That way, he got more shot attempts. He can go off a little bit, and now you got somebody that can play make on the second unit. You know, and that's another way you can get Shamet more minutes, right? We're talking about getting Shamet some more minutes, some more looks, being he's our best 3-point shooter right now. And to back up Jay's point, if you play Mitch and Cat together, we take advantage of Cat's 3-point shooting, because I don't think we're doing enough of that.
Probably. So I asked that. Go ahead, Breeze.
So my thing with Mitchell Robinson and Cat playing together, it's kind of like a logistics thing. Like, you don't want to start Mitch and Cat if Josh Hart is on the floor, right? Because OG and Mikal Bridges neither are 40% 3-point shooters, right? So if you have a world where Mitch is not a 3-point shooter, OG is not a consistent 3-point shooter, Bridges is consistently.
OG shoots almost 39%. B.
Since when?
OG shoots almost 38.
In the second half of the season, he became.
Well, he's always been that way, Jay. He's always been close to a 40% 3-point shooter his whole career.
Yeah, well, but he's taken some big strides and had some really good numbers lately that has raised him. He's up to around 37.7, so he's up to 38 now.
Right. Yeah.
But I understand I understand what I'm saying on that is that you're looking for a sniper. We're talking about
no. I'm not looking for a sniper. That's not what I'm saying.
You're talking about a solid shooter from 3.
No, that's not even my point. Is having those guys as supplements to the offense you want to run, because obviously you want to start Mitch because of defense, right? But what happens when you get to the other side of the floor, right? So Cat in a high post will pass the ball to Mitchell Robinson, right? But the thing about that though is when you have guys that are cutting to the basket in those, like, so for instance, Josh Hart on offense wants to be a mid post guy above the free throw line or around the painted area. When he's on the perimeter, he's a non-threat, right? But if you have Cat on say at the top of the key looking to take his man off the dribble, but he sees Mitch has his man beat, there is clearly a passing lane there, right? But when last time you saw that, you saw Josh Hart and Landry Shamet crashing to the rim, which takes away the passing lane to Mitch, and it takes away Mitch's runway of catching the ball and going to the rim to try to finish, right? So that eliminates Mitch because of the personnel that you have on the floor. Not that Mitch doesn't have an offense, right? But if you change that, where if you have dependable 3-point shooters on the floor that cannot, and Landry Shamet has been better, right? We have to give Landry Shamet his credit for improving, right? But if you have those guys on the floor, which takes away the passing lane from Cat to Mitch or Brunson to Mitch, now you just have Mitch on offense as somebody that's clogging the lane in that area where Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges want to operate in that mid-range area. You feel me? So it's like, if we find a way to stretch the floor to when we have Cat and Mitch on the floor together, then nobody's clogging a passing lane. You can throw Mitch the ball inside, and Mitch can maybe take a dribble and finish around the rim, and at the very minimum, go to the free throw line. Now, whether he makes a miss is a crucial part of the equation. But the more crucial part of that equation is how many fouls the other team racks up. Does it put us in the bonus?
Definitely.
Does it get somebody in foul trouble?
Definitely.
Right, and that's a part of offense too that I think we kind of forget about, because the 3-pointer looks so fancy, but getting teams in foul trouble and in the bonus changes the way that they play defense. So if you're an aggressive team, you get them in foul trouble. Guess what you just done to that team? You've neutralized their strength, and then now you can be more and more and more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Playing to their weakness now, because you turn their strength into a weakness, and now you can be more aggressive. So,
but if you
I
play,
totally agree with that.
if you play,
and especially if you space the floor, and sorry about that, and
no worries.
And you bring Cat out, then that pass you're talking to the lead hand is now available, because they're gonna be chasing one big guy, and the main center could go to the rim to that. That's the only point I'm bringing up. I'm not talking whole games. I'm talking more of a 15-minute level, a time, and definitely defensive crunch time when we've been suffering from like the silly foul Cat syndrome. We might be able to, because Cat is one of the best 3-point shooters we have, if not the best one, next to Brunson right now, and let's say Shamet, I guess. So then we need somebody inside to clean that and throw it back out. And Mitch is great at that. The offensive rebound, the second chances and stuff like that.
But you don't need somebody to post inside. You can get inside multiple ways. You can slash inside with the ball, cut inside, right? And so roll inside where another man has created the space where one defender has to get it, kind of cut off the space for two offensive players, unless a defender sags off the perimeter, which opens up a lane for somebody to shoot. That shooter, though, Jay, can't be Josh Hart, is what I'm saying. Like when that tag man comes down to help that man that he left, can't be Josh Hart when Cat and Mitch are on the floor, because it defeats the purpose of you running this offense for Mitch.
Well,
that's a fact. I agree.
Now, in truth, what I was getting ready to say, look, when you put Cat and Mitch on the court, you do two things. You can bring Cat out to shoot the three, which Detroit doesn't have many 7-footers. In fact, they don't have any. Their tallest guy is Durant. So if you're playing Cat and Mitch, right there, you're putting the pressure on them, okay, because you got two 7-footers on the floor. But remember, the pressure that Mitch puts on the defense, you don't really have to post him up, because he's one of the best, if not the best, offensive rebounder in basketball. So he puts pressure on the defense as it is, just by being on the floor rebounding. So imagine if Cat's bringing their big guy out. They don't have nobody else big to put on Mitch to keep him off the boards. Or if they do vice versa, they decide to keep Durant on Robinson to keep Robinson off the boards and put a small person on Cat. Cat has the ability to put the ball on the floor and drive around or shoot. Well, so either way, it puts pressure on him.
The only thing that I would say that I'm just a little concerned about with that is that, first off, you got one scenario that we haven't even brought up yet because it hasn't mattered yet. And then the other thing, too, is even to your point about Mitchell Robinson being one of the best offensive rebounders. And what the problem is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I just haven't seen it lately that Mitch has been that offensive rebounder that we're used to seeing. He still kind of hasn't got back to being that guy yet. Like, he hasn't looked like typical Mitch when it comes to those getting those rebounds the way we think he's used to being. Like, I still feel like he's still trying to pick his spots and find his way, but he just hasn't really got there yet. But I mean, it could be the case. But and then the other scenario that I was talking about that could pop up is the hacker Mitch.
Yeah,
If he's
he's
out
been
there,
working on that.
he has. I mean, but remember, he's been shooting free throws.
That's a lot better.
And
A lot
not
better.
in the most of pressurized situations. Maybe there was one that I saw he knocked down some big free throws when we needed him. But this is the playoffs now, and the intensity and the spotlight. That's one of the things we ran into with Mitch, and I think that's kind of right. Thibodeau has never really given him the necessary offensive usage that he deserves, is because he's more afraid about him just getting fouled and going to the line and losing possessions. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. I'm just saying I feel like it's not good. To Freezy's point, Mitch probably needs to be a little bit more involved in the game. And if the Knicks did it right, they could get him involved in the game. He's a lob threat. Like it was saying, if you pass it to the right shoulder, when he has the advantage, he can just turn and shoot. And he's an easy layup. He's a 7-footer. He's right there next to – like there's certain things the Knicks just don't do well for whatever reason when it comes to using their certain types of bigs.
Coach.
Yeah, hey, you said it.
Yeah, well,
But,
I saw it different last year with the iHeart. They would do it with iHeart, but they weren't doing it with Mitch. They would do that with iHeart.
Right, but iHeart had showed you a little bit more in that little floater, and I guess Tibbs felt a little bit more confident with it. Yeah. Go ahead, Freezy.
So just to say something to a couple of points real quick.
And after that, I'll get around to you guys because I know I didn't get your X factors. But I'll get to you guys.
Right, indeed, and I'm gonna keep it short. So one of the things as Knicks fans that we have to realize is Mitch's lack of looking like he used to look is because for 5 or 6 years he was in a predictable offense that he was raised up in from day one, right? So now you incorporate him into a brand new offensive setting with different types of skill players. We have to give Mitchell Robinson the opportunity to develop chemistry and learn this offense that he's in, because not only has he been out, right? He's been out due to injury, right? But while he was out due to injury, the team kind of regenerated itself with new offensive players, right? So while he was used to RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and Obi Toppin, and all the guys that came before this group, he could do certain things because he knew what those players can do, and he can kind of get in there and work around. He hadn't played with Cat that much yet. He hadn't played with OG that much.
Honestly, he only really played with Brunson and Hart.
Right. And then when you look at the bench is almost new also. And he and Precious barely play together because in truth there may be some duplicity there. Right? And that's one of the things I just want to mention about Mitch. He's human. He was hurt. He was injured, right? Yeah. He was rusty because he had been out for so long. We thought he was going to be out 4 months. Come to find out, he didn't return until March 1st. We just had to cut him a little bit of slack. The team identity is different when Mitch got hurt. When Mitch got hurt, the team identity was one thing. Or I'm sorry, when Mitch got injured, the team identity was one thing. When he returned, the team identity is something else. I just want to shoot him some bail.
No, that's fair. I can agree with that. I just want people to understand that if you think you're going to use Mitch a certain way because of what you're used to, you can't necessarily depend on that quite yet because he hasn't shown that he's right there at that level again. But I'm not saying he won't be. He definitely could be. But I'm just saying something to think about. Like, he hasn't been typical Mitch. And to Freeze's point too, this isn't the same offense, and we're not, we don't have the same talent. We're a little different now. We're running things differently too. That's a good point, and maybe that plays into what we see.
completely
That's
different
true too.
team actually that he left. It's like going on a long vacation and coming back, and everybody that you knew in the neighborhood moved. Like it's completely different for him. So I
Right.
get it.
Right.
Yeah, but
All right.
when you got a guy guys that are like that offensive rebounders, that great offensive rebound, that's instinctual. You know what I mean? So they have that built in, and if nothing else, he's a threat. You know what I mean? He's
No,
a threat. He's
definitely.
7 foot
And
and he's a threat.
I think we're gonna see. I think this is Mitch's time to shine. I think the Knicks. You guys know that you've been watching how they've been very careful with him with his minutes, and then they finally started to give him more minutes the last couple games that he played or whatever. But it was all just to get him along slowly to make sure he's here for the playoffs. Now that we're in the playoffs, I expect to see whatever you want to call Mitch unleashed. I expect that to be the case going forward. All right, so let me do this. I'm gonna go to Corey Lee first, just because he came in and hasn't he's been waiting around. But then we'll just move around. I want to get you guys as X factors for the series. Just pick one person that you think off the bench can be someone that will be impactful to the team with their play. So Corey, you with us?
Oh yes, sir.
What's up, brother?
Deuce. What's up,
Oh,
my
dude,
brother?
you came out the
Hey,
gate raring, Deuce. Okay, continue, my brother.
Deuce, and not only that, not just simple fact that the pressure that he could put on the ball, because they really don't have a backup point guard. So whoever they put in to spell Cade, if he applies the pressure, which I believe he should and could, and I think he's pretty much is trying to amp himself up because not to say he had a disappointing regular season, but he had a trying regular season this year because he had to deal with a lot of injuries and also, and it underwhelmed what our expectations were. So that's why I see him. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that people have to prove right now for themselves, especially him. And also too, I just want to say one quick thing outside of that. Yeah, it wasn't a truck that he was driving Freezy. It was a forklift that was Bill Cosby. And the woman he was looking at in that movie, Let's Do It Again, that was Jane Kennedy, the first black woman to really be a sports anchor
Ooh-wee.
on CBS.
And she was fine, bro.
Yes, she was.
God bless him. Yes, she was. Every drip of it. Boy, I just watched that movie the other night, so that's why I
That's
just
one
like
of my
to
favorite
start
movies
with
to
it.
watch. It
Yeah,
It's
definitely is
classic,
one.
classic.
her
Hey, shout
husband
out to my big
was that
bro,
guy Washington,
Willis.
right?
I mean,
Wa-
Jay Boogie and
Wait,
Jay
wait, wait,
Chosen
hold
and
on.
Double A.
Peace to you, brother.
What up, King?
What'd you say? Double A. Her husband was who?
that Washington guy that played in Penitentiary. I
Leon
forget his
Isaac.
name. Yeah, Leon
Ah,
Isaac. Yeah.
very nice. Yeah, look at y'all. Bring stuff and stuff.
Hey,
Stuff
real quick,
and
man. I just want speak on something real quick with you
Yeah,
because
brother.
I gotta get to my little one for a little bit and I just wanted to say you 100%. I believe Mitch is going to turn his game up a whole lot more. I think he's been coasting, trying to make sure he get here. Now he got here, turn
yeah,
all the way up. Everybody turn away, no more coasting and nothing, at all. 10 toes down. Also, Mitch's, he had to get his time and his rhythm and everything back, but he's also he's also come back a little bit lighter than what he was. You know what I'm saying? That's playing his part. I always felt like we should have kept him as the light Mitch versus to try to bulk him up and get him ready for Embiid, Mitch. And when you do that, your body is not used to so much extra weight. You don't know how it's going to react to it. And I think we had some bad reactions from his body towards it. But the most important thing, I'm not changing the lineup with Mitch starting at all unless we're playing Cleveland or OKC if they can get there. I'm going to say it again. Unless we're playing Cleveland and OKC if those teams can get there. Because I believe the matchup presents that two bigs against two bigs. Everybody else, it doesn't present having two bigs against two, you know what I'm saying, against one of their bigs. So I'm think we good with that. You know, I think it'll throw Cleveland off. We throw them two bigs in there, it'll eliminate them far as getting fast pace buckets that they like to push outside of your miss because we'll get extra offensive rebounds. I think that's a more of a problem far as their bigs versus our two bigs versus them been playing just against Towns, especially knowing what Mitch did to both of them the last time we saw them in the playoffs. And I just want to also shout out to DeLon Wright, and I want to shout out to Beecham. You know, I had a chance to talk to both of them, and I got this from Wright. This came from Wright in Atlanta. You know, I'm a real sleeve guy. You know what I'm saying? That's, getting a sleeve and then see him again and have him sign it. And talking to him, I'll tell him, patience is a virtue. You know what I'm saying? Your patience got you on the floor doing what you're doing now. He said, yeah, it's been a tough time. But he also asked me, are y'all guys always like this on the road? I said, this is what it is. It's Garden on the road. You know what I'm saying? That was in Atlanta. And then I also talked to Beecham. He was stretching in the tunnel. I got this one for him. So, I did get two of them. And I told him I was really pretty much looking forward to seeing him play with us, especially into the playoffs, until we got the news that he's only going to be available for regular season. And he was like, yeah, I was upset with that too. But he said, I know I'm going to be a part of this future on this bench. So shout out to them two guys, giving off the sleeves, and appreciating the fan base here. And then also with Beecham, him wanting to be here, and I'm ready for the playoffs. Shout out to you guys. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday.
Boogie, I'm sorry I missed you, baby.
That's okay. That's okay. Blessings, health, happiness to everybody. Shout out to the chat. Before you get up out of here, make sure, like Freezy said, you hit that like button, you subscribe, and you share, you know what I'm saying, so you can be a part of the movement each and every time. Any of the podcasts, touch bases, you can be a part of that movement. God bless everybody. Let's get this one zip leading to a 4-0, and the big 40 number. I think that was all. I forget his name. Who won number 40? I can't think of his name. He was in shoot the ball. I think he came from TCU.
Kurt Thomas.
Kurt Thomas.
We're going to get this Kurt Thomas in this broom sweep real quick, man. So God bless everybody, man. Salute. Three capital S's. And I do have an anthem, Freezy, but the only thing is they're holding me up like they do every time. And I got an anthem called The Building, and it's on Wes's desk. I spoke with the secretary. So it's up to the new arena people. They got new arena people in here, so things are, different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty, but I have let it be known that if they haven't come to a decision by at least Game 5, hopefully we don't need it coming back to the Garden, or Game 3 in the Garden with the Celtics, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to release the song to everybody, so I want everybody to be able to make their own videos to it and push it. The song is called The Building. It's crazy. Probably I think it's better than Lit. So, I'm just on hold. So just to let you know that, Freezy. Anytime I make music, they always
just get A Boogie to do a hook on it. Or do a verse.
I don't want A Boogie to do a hook or verse. I don't need none of them guys doing no Knicks music. You ain't been doing it. You ain't been here with the Knicks. A lot of them ain't been like that. There are a lot of them around now because we rocking. I don't need none of them guys to do anything on my music. All I need is my producer, my master mixer, and my podcast family, and my chat friends. I don't need none of them jokers. None of them. God bless
Say it
you.
again so the people in the back can hear it.
Appreciate you, my guy.
No doubt.
On that note, happy Easter to you and your family, brother.
Happy Easter, yo.
Happy Easter, y'all.
And next time I see you, I'll be 58, man, not 57.
Hey, let's go, baby.
Man,
That's what's up. Shout out to the Silver Foxes.
It's all right, young fella. It's all right. You go, young fella.
Yeah.
You go, young fella.
Yo, look, like I
There
told
you go.
Ron,
Let
you
it
must
rain.
be taking some of
That's
that
right.
Botox.
Yeah.
There you go.
That Brotox is real.
That
got
Yeah,
Botox is real. I'm telling you.
yeah. That's all hair too. That's no bald spot. That's all hair. All hair.
Yo,
That's ball spot.
I'm
I ain't
50.
got
That's
no.
ball spot.
I ain't got no
Look,
Lloyd Free. I ain't got no Lloyd Free. No Gus
yo,
Williams.
look,
None of that.
I'm 50. This
Look
is
at
it.
y'all, man. Get out of
That's
here
what
with
I'm
y'all with
talking
the
about.
hair.
All right.
With the hair
So,
people. Get out of here, man.
but
I
I
don't
need a
care. I'm
haircut.
still
I need
sexy.
a
I'm
haircut.
sexy and bald. I'm a sexy bald headed silver fox, so it don't matter.
It's
My main,
overrated.
There you go,
my
brother.
mane is on my face.
Your
Hair is
There
mane is on
overrated.
your
you go.
face. I have seen it. Yes.
Hair is overrated.
There you, I'm with you, Double A. Let me
All
read
right.
these super chats real quick, and then I'm gonna get over to Jay and then Double A with their X Factor people. All right. Beep, 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 beep. Shout out to Andios NYK, my brother, one of the best, the champions of the chat, one of the best moderators out there in this Knicks community. Shows love to everybody. Can't say enough about
Yep.
how important he is to the community. Important he is. Check out his and follow him on Instagram for dope content. He sends me a powerful message every day, a message of inspiration, a message of hope. I appreciate you. You my brother, Andios. You know how it is. He says, never trust your fears. They don't know your strengths. This team is built for these moments. Let's go, Knicks. We war ready. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you, Andios.
Peace to you, Andios, man. That's awesome.
And we got another super chat. Beep, 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 pow, pow, pow. Shout out to my guy, Uncle Freezy Lawrence Tears. Thank you for the generous. He said Knicks in 3.5. Let's go, Knicks. All
I'm
right.
in it. I'm with it. They're gonna walk off the court.
There you go. Yeah. At
Get the
the third
broom, yo.
quarter,
We need
when
to get the
things seem like
vacuum
they're out of
cleaner.
whack, let's just bounce.
Nah, see,
Yeah,
that's not the broom. That's the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
next level.
word.
That's right there. It's different. All right, Jay. Who is your X factor for the series off the bench?
The X factor on the series off the bench, man. Well, shooting wise, I would say if Shaman kept the pace he's going at, we would need that. Size wise, I think Precious is very important. I don't know if he's gonna play. Is McCullough Jr. available to play?
Yeah, but he ain't playing.
He ain't playing.
You ain't
though,
seeing
right?
McCullough. You ain't seeing Kolick. Anybody younger than 24, you ain't seeing.
Oh, so I won't
And
be
you
playing.
might see Huck Porty if we in foul
I
trouble.
won't be.
You
I
might
won't be
see Huck
playing.
40 if we in foul trouble. That's fair because of that size.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with the hot hand right now. I think that Shamit has found a stride, and it's so tough, man. Right? Pain's important. These guys are important. The bench itself is important. I don't know who. I'm gonna go with Shamit. I don't really am not a huge fan of him. I think he's too streaky. But I don't think that I think Deuce took a step back in my own opinion. So I have to go with Shamit. It's not a lot to pick from, Ron. It's really I feel like it's tough.
That's why it's an interesting question because our bench is still a little iffy. But
Yeah,
they've been playing better lately. So
yeah, I'll go with Shamit for the shooting.
okay, all right. What you think, Double A? Who you got? Who you got off the bench as the X factor for the series?
I'm hoping I'm hoping he plays Precious. And if it's Precious gets to play, I think he'll add that dimension. So I don't know if he's going to play him or if he'll play Hunter. So either one of them could add some toughness to our front line. So I'm looking at that. But other than that, I think Deuce can come up big for us, man. He gets his shot on. I think he can come up big for us on both ends of the floor. Because he's one of them guys off the bench can affect the game two ways on defense and offense.
Okay.
And by the way, shout out Corey Lee. What's up, OG?
All day, baby. You know what it is.
I like it. I personally, I think Mitch is going to be a big part of the series. I personally think it is going to be uh it's going to be Deuce or Shamit. I'm going to go with Deuce because Deuce was my favorite player on the Knicks for quite some time, and I'm going to give him the nod. But I do think that if he doesn't step up, it'll be Shamit because I think Shamit just needs the time and opportunity. But Deuce has already solidified the time and opportunity. I just need Deuce to do something with it. If he doesn't, he's going to open the door. And I hate to say it because the bad thing about it is if Deuce doesn't step up and doesn't kind of give us a little bit of what we saw last year, he's going to open the door for Shamit. And I don't think Shamit's going to lose this opportunity once he gets it because he's hot right now.
Right.
And that is going to play into a lot, and it could affect Deuce next year. Because if Deuce don't have a good playoffs this year, I already told you, Precious is gone, Campaign is gone, Deuce might be gone later as well. I mean, they'll trade him, but I'm just saying, like, he needs to play well because they're depending on him. The whole thing about losing Dante was not about bringing in Shamit and he was going to be the replacement. It was about Deuce stepping up and getting to the next level, and then Shamit just being a complementary piece that can give us the three-point shooting that we lose from not having Dante. But Deuce is the guy. It's his job to lose, and it's his time to step up and give us what we need off the bench. So there you go. All right. Yeah, I listen. That's pretty much it for the show. 3-hour show. The
All right,
Knicks
Corey
played.
Lee. We ain't hear from Corey Lee.
No, he was first. He got Deuce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got Deuce.
But you already know, Ron, you got that little TikTok I sent you, right?
I did.
Okay then. So you already know. Listen, my man, the butcher coined the term, but I got to follow it up and add it. The butcher is coming, and I promise you this. I think it's gonna be cats over there. First of all, shout out to them 8 Mile cats over there. B Rabbit, Papa Doc, Cheddar Bob. You know what I'm saying? Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Just shoot the ball at the other basket. And my man Lotto with his undersized T-shirt. But listen,
Lotto, I get the 7 digits from your mother for $1
you know what I'm saying?
tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, screw the free world and the 313. You know what I'm saying? Because
you went to a private school with the real nice parents.
Yes.
Name is parents.
Yes, exactly. You know who we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, but shout out to Cade. Tremendous turnaround this season. You can't take that from them, but they're not ready. They're not worthy.
No.
They're not worthy. And Nick Nation also too. I'm gonna be done, Ron, in a second. I'm gonna sum this up quick. And Nick Nation, we have to stop doubting what we have in front of us and see what it is. I feel like what people have been saying, and I think Brian mentioned it, that we kind of slick play possum for the last, like we mailed it in. We maintained us and held down the third position, which is dope. And we're gonna be something to reckon with, And like I said, F the broom, get the vacuum, and suck these suckers home. Pause, and get them up out of here, and set them back over here. You know what I'm saying? And let them chill out and eat their conies.
Yeah,
I like it.
Word.
I like it. Also, I want to say, shout out to the objective Knicks fan. That's family. Appreciate him. If you guys are looking for a spot to go to, he is throwing a watch party today. It's going to be out in Queens. So, I mean, some of y'all might be close to the area. If y'all ain't got nothing to do, want to just go to a nice little bar lounge area and just watch the game with fellow Knick fans, he will be out there. Karan's a good guy. It's the playoffs watch party. It's today at the Q Bar That's 4518 Bell Boulevard, Bayside, New York. And it's at 6 p.m. Obviously, that's when the game starts. Yeah, he
That's
says
right above
tables.
from where I'm from.
Oh, wow.
That's
Look at
like
that. Great
it's not
drinks,
a
fun
yo.
games, free giveaways.
That's dope, man. I was actually out by there yesterday, so not there, but around there.
That's
It's a good
dope.
spot.
So, yeah, if you're looking for some place to go and you in that area or you close to the area, go check it out. Go to the Q Bar, 4518 Bell Boulevard, Bayside, New York at 6 p.m. Chop it up with the Objective Nick fan and his people. And there's going to be might be some other content creators out there as well. I unfortunately I'm just giving y'all a little bit more information than y'all need to know. He had asked me about this. We were going to think about doing it together. But you guys know that, like I said, I got to put my wife's health is the priority. I put her above everything else. And so
Always.
I try to limit myself from going to public events and being exposed to certain things. Even outdoors is a little tricky, but if it was, I can mess around. We'll see, if there's something I could do this year that's outside, a little less contained, maybe. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all. I want y'all to know that Ron's not afraid of showing love and being out there supporting, but I just have to kind of do what I got to do for my family. But once again, watch party today, Q Bar, 4518 Bell Boulevard, Bayside, New York. Check it out with the Objective Knicks fan. Let's go Knicks. All right, let me get this out of
No
here.
diggity.
Awesome, man.
But yeah, man. So I want to thank everybody. And I'll pass it around one more time just for the final words. I just want to thank everybody for being a part of today's show. Thank you for all the love and support. Smash the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Show your love for the show. We are on our road to 5K, as I always say. And man, let's go Knicks, man. There's a lot of stuff. What you guys can't do is don't allow other people to allow you to doubt who we are. We're the Knicks fans. The Knicks are our
Fact.
team. We know what they can do. We know what we expect from the team. Don't let nobody else get in your head and make you think that they're not what you think they are. We are who we are. They are who they are. And we're going to stay that way. And let's go shock the world as we think we're going to do. Appreciate y'all. Let me get around. Corey Lee, final words, my brother.
You already know what I'm
one more
going to say. I'm
thing.
going to say it again.
One more thing. Sorry, I forgot. Milwaukee is currently losing 88-63. Indiana is up with 2 minutes and 56 seconds left in the third. Indiana looks like they're smoking. And Milwaukee don't got nothing over there. It's Giannis and nothing else right now. So
God bless him.
Go ahead,
I'm
Corey.
watching.
My bad.
I'm watching Obi Toppin do his thizzle. You know what I'm saying? He out here dunking left and right, bananas. But anyway, I want to say this. I always said the butcher's coming, ninjas. So don't worry about it. Let's handle it. Let's take care of it. Let's get it over with. Like I want my people calling me and telling me they can hear the garden from all the way out there in Queens.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what I want. What's up, Jay? What's your thoughts, brother?
That's what's happening. Listen, blessings to the chat, to the panel, to Double AJ Boogie, Corey, of course, my brother, Uncle Freezy, and Rex, who was up here earlier. I don't think I missed anybody. To all the ladies who join us. To me, there's nothing more, how to say this respectfully, nothing more awesome than
Attractive.
or attractive. Thank you. Than a queen who loves sports. Or they drive like a Wrangler. Like, to me, that's and they listening to sport WFAN. Like that right there, that's it for me. But
Next level.
and it's muddy, and they just went through the mountains, and whatever. But listen,
They chosen in a hillbilly.
Yeah, right. I live in the city. There ain't no damn mountain over here, but you get it. For those who celebrate, he has risen. He has risen indeed. Remember the reason for the season. God bless you and your families for Easter. For those who don't, let's go Knicks. We're fam here. I love the support. Ron, wherever he is, with the Brotox going, is still doing his damn thing, doing it for us, always taking that time away from his family and his things that he's doing. And I respect that incredibly, Ron. And I'm always grateful to be a part of chopping it up with you. So thank you. And Knicks in 5 at the most, but I think they're gonna sweep. But gentlemen, sweep would be fine with me.
Yeah,
God bless
I'm with
everybody.
you on that. Appreciate you, my brother.
And be
Once
the
again,
change. Don't
yes,
forget,
be the change.
be the
And
change.
once again, happy Easter to everybody tomorrow. Please enjoy your families and remember, a lot of life and stuff, we go through it, but we kind of forget about it. We lose it because we got other stuff on our minds. But it's about the young ones, it's about our youth, and continue to set the example, man. Appreciate everybody. Thank you to everybody that joined the show. Thanks to Jay. Thanks to Corey. Thanks to Uncle Freezy. Thanks to Double A. Thanks to Jay Boogie. Appreciate all you guys. Shout out to the chat. You guys know where it's at. You've been fantastic. Appreciate you. Shout out to
Hit
Crims
that
Dad.
like button.
Yes, thank you for all the gifted memberships that you have given to people today, Crims Dad. Appreciate you once again. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Tendril, AP in the building. I see you guys. Replay gang, y'all. Y'all here. Shout out to my guy Phil Porto, and Apollo, Eru, all the guys, Jay Ellis, Fritz, all my people, Ryan, Ebony over at the Nick of Time show. Appreciate all you guys. Shout out to Old Head in the building. Pew, 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 pew. You know what it is. Shout out to Paris Duggar for the generous super chat. He says, "I reside in Bayside. Let's go, Paris. Get on out that rocking chair and head on over to the Q bar, brother. Go show some
Parrish, I
love,
might
man."
go, so maybe we'll link up, man. I'm actually
Go
making
get
a
go
call
get
to
you a
see
shot of
people
rock and
going.
rye.
Yeah, there you go. Go get you
Yeah.
some of that good stuff. That I don't know what y'all drink. Maybe you drink Jameson. I'm a real soft. I'm a Captain and Coke guy. I'm one leg up. I'm so.
Hey, you can have that captain all
one
day.
boot, one sock.
That spicy rum is cool. I'm cool on that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jimmy J in the building as well. Jimmy J, good to see you. Appreciate you. Knicks fans, let's go. Long Island Sound once again. Clovins, Doris in the building. Appreciate you. Prezi the boss. Hey, man, thank you to all you guys. And like I said before, smash the like button or subscribe if
Oh,
you
shout
haven't
out to
already.
my brother Bully. You know what I'm saying? AKA Tito. And you know me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the Jose man. So
Yes,
we're
sir.
the Corona kids. Also to Ally Wise, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Always.
He Moet and Pope 45 for King Ribby.
There you go. There you
Yo,
go. Oh, shout
I'm
out.
Hennessy and St. Ives.
Ooh, Hennessy, that dark liquor.
Oh
Ooh.
no.
Shout out to Super Bowl Cartier. I know you're new to the chat, so please, if you like the content, like the show, please, so hit the subscribe button, hit the like. We appreciate you. We'd love to have you. Shout out to Nick Yak as usual. D-Ras in the building. Appreciate you, man. Thank you to everybody. If there's anybody out there that I missed, shout out to D Coolest 718. If there's anybody out there I missed, it's not for lack of trying. I just may not have seen your name as we go along with the show.
Absolutely.
But once again, guys, I'm gonna say it
It's that
until
overload
I'm
of
blue in
caffeine.
the face. Yeah, right. Let's go Knicks, man. Let's get
Let's
this
go, Nick.
victory.
Come on
Let's
now.
shut these
Parish is the
whiners
watch
up.
party, Parish. A watch party at 6.
There you go. Let's shut these
Sorry to
whiners up.
interrupt you
Man.
because I know you have to tell a
Oh.
friend that.
Look, he's a regular at the Q bar too. Yeah, Paris, just head on over. Go walk in
I've
there
been
like
to the
you
Q
like
bar.
you.
The Q bar is dope. I've been there a handful of times. It's
Oh
really
yeah, look
great
at you guys. Yeah, walk in there like y'all Norm from Cheers. Norm.
Norm, hey,
Hey.
Frazier.
Oh man, I'm definitely dating myself. Y'all know I'm old. Anyway,
It's all good, man. We made it. We made it
yeah,
here, man. That's a blessing.
there we go. So as I always say, guys, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Nick fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays at 11:30-ish for Know the Legends. I'll talk y'all off it, as well as sometimes y'all talk me off of it. We work together. We're a team. We're a tandem. That's what we do.
Family.
Or on Monday nights for SKF Weekly, usually with myself, my brother John, and my brother Jose holding it down on the ones and twos. We got to see what goes on from here. Like I said, I'm going to have to do some special guests filling in here and there with me on Mondays to keep it consistent, keep that camaraderie going. But we're going to make it happen. So please continue to support the shows, show the love. And once again, guys, do not forget this. This is really important. The Discord is out there. You see it in the chat. Click on that button. Join the Discord right now. And so you can chop it up with us, man. The only thing that's stopping us from having really good conversations in the Discord is you. We need the people to be in there.
Don't put that pressure on me like that. I can't
I'm
figure
putting
it
the
out.
pressure on you right now.
Hold me
Join
out.
the Discord so we can chop it up. Tonight, I will be in and out of the Discord, saying different things as the game goes along. We'll be talking about what's happening. I'm also going to be showing some love to Dexter Henry and Brian. They got their own little watch party thing they're going to have on YouTube. They'll be watching the game and talking about it as it goes. So I'll be watching and doing all that and showing love in our own Discord over here at SKF. So please be a part of it.
Y'all can come over there with me and Freezy and watch it on playback TV.
There you go. There's so much going on, man. The Knicks community is on and popping tonight, man. So please show your love to whoever works for you and bounce around if you want. We all appreciate the love. Shout out to Shoquan in the building. He said the Bucks getting spanked. Yeah, I know. I see it. I mean, look, I feel bad for Giannis. He ain't working with nothing over there. It's him and no one else. And even though they said that Dame Dollars has looks like he's healed up and he's ready to come back, he's not playing in today's game. So it's really just
not
Giannis.
the same player.
Yeah. Well,
but they won a chip, right?
That they did.
I don't feel so bad for them. I gotta be
honest.
at
least they got something to hang their hat on.
Giannis gonna do his Kareem moonwalk up out of there soon.
Very soon, you might be right. He might be tired of all this. All right. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You guys know what I always say. Forget the haters and the naysayers. It's all about what we are, what we believe in. We are our own worst enemy sometimes. So let's champion ourselves. Let's big ourselves up. Let's represent for New York, man. Let's be good fans to our guys. Let them do their thing. Let them feel like they're wanted, they're needed, and they go out there and play for the city. Remember what I always say: the good, the bad, the ups and downs. No matter what, we are still Knick fans, baby. Let's go. Be good out there, and if you can't be good at it. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch you on the next one. Let's go, Knicks. Let's get this victory. Peace out. Won yourself. We out of here.
Peace.